Good afternoon, I'm Lloyd Robertson in Lake Placid with Bernie Pascal as we come forward for the big game. Bernie, I suppose Canadians are forever hopeful.
Well, we're still looking forward to an exciting game today, Lloyd, and I think goaltending could be the key, as you mentioned at the outset. Paul Pajot obviously has had some super games for Team Canada. He's the key as far as Canada's performance today, and I don't think they'll be blown out of the building at all. They'll skate with the Soviets. It should be an entertaining game.
We're going now to Olympic Arena for Ron Roosh and Tom Watt and the commentary on Canada and the Soviet Union.
Thanks very much, Lloyd, and let's take a look at your screen right now. There are a number of champions right there. On the right of your screen, Doug Risebrough, that's Doug Jarvis, Brian Engblom, and a fellow who played some pretty good goal for the Montreal Canadiens as well, Ken Dryden. And they are here to cheer Canada on. A tremendous amount of excitement. There always is when Canada plays the Soviet Union. It's been a long period of frustration. The last time Canada defeated the Soviets in an Olympic game was back in 1960 at Squaw Valley when they won 3-2. But since then, they have been beaten in the Olympics of 64, 68, and then, of course, now we're back again after that 12-year absence. What's going to happen? Well, we should see. Tom?
Well, the secret to Canada's game is to do a good job checking. The Soviets have the advantage of being a fast-breaking team, very aggressive team around your own net. Canada's game plan is to try to forecheck well, stop them from moving out of their own zone, put a lot of pressure on them, delay them as much as we can, try to force a mistake inside their own zone.
There's the coach of the Soviets, Viktor Tikhonov. In goal for Canada will be Paul Pajot, the youngster from Shawinigan, Quebec, actually born in Gatineau, Quebec, but plays in Shawinigan with the Cataracts there in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. And, of course, the very familiar number 20 for the Soviets, Vladislav Tretiak, who is looking for his third Olympic gold medal here, and has always been a thorn in the side of Canadian hockey teams. Fetisov out there to face off against Devaney. Canada controls it from the face-off, and they clear it down, and this game is underway. Deep inside the zone now for Canada. Around the boards, Devaney behind the net, but he is checked on the play. Petrov on the far side is cleared out to center ice, and down into Team Canada territory. Flipped off the boards to the far side. That's Randy Gregg, number 4 for Canada. He gets it out in front. Primo starts out. Goes off his stick, but now it's Devaney at center ice. Devaney's over the line. Devaney is checked just as he hit the line by Fetisov. Now at center ice, it's cleared all the way down into the Soviet end. Down there to touch it for the Soviets. Kazanov, he touches it. It's called. Icing will be the infraction, and back into the Team Canada zone for the face-off.
Both teams making changes after only 33 seconds. And against the Soviets, when the pace is so quick in the hockey game, you can't have the team out there too long. You've got to make the quick changes. First change being made by both clubs after only 33 seconds.
From the face-off, it's cleared out to center ice past Starikov. He goes back, just backpedaling, and then threw the puck away. Maxwell's down to the line, but he was checked again. Now to Barry on this side, but offside, as the player was trapped inside the blue line, so a face-off just outside the Soviet line. There's Ken Barry. He's had a pretty good Olympics, really. He is 4 goals and 1 assist in the 4 games he played. Of course, had that hat-trick against the Dutch team. Barry, a youngster, played with the Westminster Bruins, plays at Denver University now. Here's Barry over the line with it now. Barry into the corner. He falls in against the boards. After it is Maxwell. Poked behind the net. Fetisov has it for the Soviets. Fetisov, that long lead pass, and he put it right on the stick of McLean. Tries to get it in front of the net, and it knocks high into the air. And then Flukov gets it. Rolls it in front of his own net. There's Fetisov with a lot of pressure on him. Maxwell around the net, gets it out to center ice. McLean waits for Mates to get onside, then clears it over the line, but it's called right back out to center ice by Vasiliev. And down into his own end goes Spring. He'll touch it, and it's called on the icing.
We had a good example of Canada's type of forechecking. Canada today is going to forecheck 2 men deep, 1 man in the middle, and then their 2 defensemen playing regularly on the point. And there was a good example there where the Soviet defenseman just turned and tried to throw that puck up through the middle. And Paul McLean was standing there just ready to trap him, got the opportunity just inside the Soviet blue line. But that 1 man has to take away the long pass.
The face-off inside the zone, and Golikov gets it into the corner. Ilya Letvinov gets slammed in against the boards, but it's cleared out to center ice. Now it is Alexander Golikov. He hits the line, but is taken away there by Canada once again as Davidson makes the check and is flipped in over the blue line. Now moving in after it is Nil. He gets it in the corner. Glenn Anderson. Anderson trying to get it front. There's shot. Scores! Jim Nil has scored, and Canada has taken the lead 1-0. Great play in front of the net and a great shot. And listen to this arena has just erupted. Canada has the lead, 1:35 in.
The play was really made coming out of the side, coming off the side by Glennie Anderson. Glennie controls the puck, throws it, the rebound comes off. Ronnie Davidson, Jim Mill just moving off the side, beats Vladimir Trechak. Another look at it. Jim Mill controlling that puck inside. Davidson moving the puck back and through. Here's Jim Mill moving in. Jimmy Mill always uses the wrist shot, never slaps the puck. Great shot. Canada goes ahead 1-0.
Well, what a great start for Canada. Here's Peary, rink-wide pass. It goes deep into the zone. Backboard for the Soviets is Fetisov. He clears it around the boards. Maltsev digging it out, clears it out to center ice. At center ice, Dalvis loves it, knocks it down. And the puck is cleared inside the blue line. We'll get the official scoring on that in a couple of moments as Canada's in forechecking. Peary's in there. Dalvis is in there as well. It goes around the boards. Fetisov has it. Fetisov clearing it out to center ice. Now at center ice, it's picked off by Canada. Anderson loses it. It's right in front of them. They shoot, and it's over top of the net. As Pajot appeared to get a piece of that one. Now it's high in the air. They jam it in there. Puck is cleared in against the boards. Peary flipping it out into the crowd, and it's called for a face-off. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. It's in the Soviet zone, now cleared out to center ice. Down over the line comes Petrov, but he is checked as coming back to make the play there was Don Spring. It's in the corner, cleared behind the net. Spring's got it. Around to this side now. Heinmarch going in against the boards. That's Devaney in the corner, trying to pin it in there. And it will be called for a face-off in the Canadian zone. The official scoring on that goal, Jim Mill from Davidson and Anderson at 1:35. There's the great Valery Harlamov. Many people say he is in his final Olympics and perhaps his final appearance with the Soviet national team.
I would suspect that whole line of Petrov, Harlamov, and Mikhailov, this may be their last hurrah.
Face off to the right of the Canadian goal. Taking the draw for Canada. Kevin Maxwell comes back to the blue line. There's the shot. It's just wide of the net and on the far boards now. After it is McLean, but he can't get it. It's taken by the defense. Joe Grant clearing it right wide out to center ice. Ken Berry racing after it, but meeting him to the puck is Billy Lentonov. Now it's cleared over the line. Maxwell can't reach it. Billy Lentonov goes back. He's behind the net. Clears it all the way around the boards and down into Team Canada territory. Terry from O'Malley's backboard. It'll be called on the icing here and brought back into the Soviet zone. There's Joe Grant from Niagara Falls, Ontario. Kitchener Rangers is where he played his junior hockey in the University of Toronto the last couple of years under our cohort here. Co-coach for the Canadian team, Tom Watt.
Well, Paul Pajot had to make a great stop when there was a mistake made by the Canadian defense all by themselves in front of the net. He just got that leg and stick over in time.
Face off to the left of the Soviet goal. Maxwell's chased out of there. Also chased out is Vladimir Golikov, one of two brothers, and his brother, Alexander, moves in. He'll take the draw against McLean. From the face-off now, McLean kicking it into the corner, races after it. He and Fetisov, and it's flipped behind the net. You dig it out in front now. It slips into the netting at the side, and it's up in the netting, and finally it is whistled dead. We should mention here that the officials for this game, Jim Nagels of the United States, Marty Demers, and Jim Doyle, also of the United States. And if you were looking for any kind of a break at all, Tom, I think to have three American officials in the game, at least you're used to what the type of hockey, the type of game they call.
Kenny Berry just moving, trying to get Kazatnov away from him. He's wrapping them all up there, and that's one thing you can't do with the Soviets. Whoops, a little spear there at the end, but you can't let them tie you up inside and wrestle. You don't want to confront their strength. You want to back off a little bit, get into the opening, and try to get the shot. Don't stand in too deep and wrestle with them. There's Kenny Berry.
All right, the face-off will be to the left of the Soviet goal. For Canada, Ron Davidson taking the draw, and it goes past everybody out to center ice. Warren Anderson chasing it down on the boards on this side, fires it off the boards. Kazanov takes it inside his own zone, clears it out over center ice, and it's knocked down out there by Randy Gregg. Hopped over his stick, getting it on this side is Warren Anderson. He clears it along the boards. At center ice now, down go a couple of players. Makarov trying to control it. A big pile up against the boards. In the middle of that is Mill as well. It comes back to Anderson. Glenn Anderson hoisted out to the blue line. Really tossed that one away. Now against the far board. Taking it for Canada is Ron Davidson. He gets it to Anderson. Anderson at center ice coming to the line now along with Mill. Mill has the goal. Tries to split the defense. But covering up very alertly there was Fetisov. And he's got it on the far boards. But Mill moves in. It comes away. And taking it away for the Soviets now against the boards on this side. It's Makarov. Makarov check. Davidson's in there. It's right in front of it. The shot is right off. The rebound. They shot it wide with an open net. to shoot at. Geary's in the forecheck. He's got the puck trying to roll it in front. Boy, Canada's been doing a great job forechecking. Puck is cleared to the far side now. Cleared down to the line, knocked down. And the Soviets come to the line. It was knocked down with a high stick, and it'll be called for a face-off in the center ice area. Wow, what a chance for Canada.
Brad Carey all by himself just blasted the puck wide, but the puck came loose. Makarov being loose with the puck inside his own zone. Brad Perry breaking all the way in. Just a shot just missing the edge of the net. And Glenn Anderson coming back with the rebound. Just lifts the puck wide. Oh, what an opportunity with that open net. Just lifts the puck wide.
Play underway from the face-off. It's down to the Soviet end again. Down there is Vasiliev. He goes into the corner after it. Takes a shot from Perry. It's cleared around the boards. As the blue line, Waters moving in into the corner to Pancic. He kicks it along the boards, controls it, and then is checked again, and the Soviets come away with it. As clearing it up to center ice is Lebedev, but his long lead pass is intercepted by Spring. Now checked on the far side there is, for Canada, is Dalvis, and the Soviets come back in, but a check is thrown. Here's a shot, and it just misses on the far side. That shot taken from just inside the blue line by Krutov. Now the Soviets control it inside Team Canada territory. Maltsev along the boards. It comes out to the blue line. Still kept in. Fired into the corner. After it there is Lebedev. Lebedev takes a check by Dalvis. It's rolled out in front. There's nobody there. Maltsev dropping it off to the blue line. There's the shot. It drifts wide. Taken by Starikov from the blue line. Now Spring shooting it down the ice to take the pressure off. This is the Soviet net, so we'll have icing here. As back to get it is Starikov. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. From the face-off, the puck is in the corner. Canada trying to come away, and here they come. Up the center ice comes Canada with Joe Grant leading the rush. He hits the line. Grant working for the corner now, getting a man in front, but he's ridden in against the boards by Bilya Letdinov, and out at center ice it's the Soviets. In over the line now, Harlamov. He's behind the net, rolls it out in front. The loose puck, and Pashko goes down, and he holds on. 1-0. Canada is leading.
Interference call being called by official Jim Nagels. An interference call on David Heinmarsh. Coming back checking on Mikhailov. He put a little bit of a clutch on him, and Mikhailov took a little bit of a dive after. I don't think he really had to take the dive, but he was grabbed, trying to get in the play as the third man, and the back checker not going to let him. The Soviets get that odd man advantage. The shot coming just off the edge of the net after the infraction being called. Paul Peugeot forced to make an excellent save, and that's what Canada has to have. A good goaltending if they're going to be successful today.
Heinmarsh off for interference at 6:08. Canada leading 1-0. The Soviets on the power play. In the corner it goes. Controlling it is Golikov. They have the two brothers out there behind the net. That's the other Golikov, Vladimir. Out in front, it's hoisted out to the blue line. Kept in by Fedosov at the blue line. He's working the point positions along with Kazatonov. Fedosov with the puck over to Kazatonov. In deep now, taking it is Makarov. Makarov circling into the corner. The two Golikovs are out in front of the net. It's back out to Kazatonov. Here's the shot in front, and it's deflected away by Randy Gregg. Now, over on the far side, Alexander Golikov out in front for Victor Golikov. Puck goes down, it's loose in front, and Canada clears it away as Randy Gregg got his stick on it and shot it down the ice. 1:17 remaining in the penalty. Behind his own net, Fedosov. He leaves it for Golikov. Vladimir Golikov on his way out of the zone. The passes to his brother Alexander. Over the line. Stops up in against the boards. Clears it out to the blue line. Kazatonov, number 7, has it. Flips it into the corner. Canada gets it. Shoots it along the boards. Anderson. Glenn Anderson in against the boards. Trying to control it, but unable to. It's back to the blue line. Makarov is there. He flips it over for Kazatonov. Kazatonov checked, and Anderson takes it. Anderson can't control it inside the blue line. Here's a chance. And a good save there by Pajot. Puck is rolled down the ice. As getting it inside the zone was Primo. And he shot it down right on the Soviet goal. Puck is cleared right wide. We've got 35 seconds left in the power play. Over the line come the Soviets. Carrying the puck is Makarov. He's chased in against the boards. The puck is cleared out to the blue line. Fedosov rolling it over for Slutov. Over to the far side. That's Makarov. Back out to Fedosov. Fedosov winding up. There's the shot. Rebound. And it's picked up by Canada. Fired off the glass and down the ice. 14 seconds left in the power play. And the Soviets and Canada both change on the fly. Now it's Fedosov. Feeds it off. Coming out of his end. Schwartzov. Schwartzov out over center right. Barry takes it, but he's unable to control it. It's in against the boards. Out to the blue line now. The penalty is ended. Puck is rolled in front. Canada's trying to get it out. Kept in by Fedosov. He shoots it in near the area in front of the net, and getting down on his knees and covering it up is Waters, and he'll hold it for the face-off. Balderas in the middle of your picture there along with Spring. And the face-off will be to the right of the Canadian goal.
David Heinmarsh coming right off that bench, and when Tim Waters was trying to cover up, just made sure that the Soviet player, Balderas, wasn't able to shove that puck underneath him and get the opportunity, just going right through him. Pajot all by himself here now. The first stop, great stop, the rebound. He got help to arrive to ice that puck after that great stop off the edge of the crease.
Well, it killed off the penalty. Canada leading 1-0 on a goal by Jim Nill. It's cleared off the boards. Barry can't control it. Against the boards, they get it out to center ice. Turning with it is Balderas, one of the quickest men in world hockey. He tried to get around O'Malley, and O'Malley did a good job of playing the man on that one. He knocked Balderas down. Now Canada coming out. It's cleared rink wide by McLean. Racing it after it is Barry, and it's called on the icing. It's back to touch it before Barry can reach it is Vasilyev, and they'll come back down for a face-off in the Canadian end.
Well, there's an example of a little excitement by the Canadian team. Just throwing that pass a little too soon, making the long, difficult pass when the easy one could be made. Just take your time. Don't force those passes. Make the easy play. Don't try to make the difficult one.
We saw a close-up on the bench of Kevin Primo, graduate of the University of Alberta. He's an Edmonton boy. Face-off will be to the right of Pajot. And Kevin Maxwell will take the draw. You hear the shy boo, which is, of course, that Soviet word for puck. The chant here in the rink. Puck is kept just at the line. Here's a quick shot off the stick glove of Pajot. In against the boards. After it there for Canada's McLean. He can't get it out in front of the net. Now they try to get a shot away. And it's cleared away by the defense. Keeping it in at the blue line is Pervukin. And now just chopping away at it. A lot of checking going on. Here's a chance for Maltsev. That went off a stick and up into the crowd. No, it didn't. It hit the glass behind the net. Now it's in the corner. Maltsev taking a rough ride in there from Kevin Maxwell. Now out in front, and Maltsev with a great chance. And it's cleared away and out to center ice. Here comes Barry, and Barry had a roll off a stick. Great chance there for Maltsev, but Pajot was equal to that one. Now over the line comes Maltsev once again. Maltsev trying to get set, takes a shot, and it rolls to the side of the net. Grant goes down. Puck is cleared to the blue line. It's poked into the corner after it is Lebedev. Grant goes in against the boards as well. Also Maxwell, and everybody overskates it up the blue line. Billy Letwinoff winding up the shot, and it went off the leg. There's O'Malley went sprawling to block it. Now Canada clearing it off the glass and down the ice into Soviet territory. And Billy Letwinoff will go back to touch it, and it's called on the icing for a face-off back in the zone of Team Canada. Don't forget, tonight we'll have Olympic highlights for you following the late news. And I think we've got... I missed something, Tom.
Well, you missed just a tremendous check with both players. There was young Krutov taking a run at Joe Grant. Joe got his stick and arm up at the last minute. There was an awful collision behind the net.
We'll have highlights following the late news tonight. Olympic highlights of speed skating, cross-country skiing, and the women's giant slalom from this morning. And, of course, hockey. That's following the national news tonight. Now it's taken from the face-off by Spring. Anderson out to center ice. That lead pass went right by Stan Dalvis and is cleared back into Team Canada territory. Here's the chance for the Soviets as they work in. Harlamov trying to get in front of the net, but coming back and making the check at Peary. Now hit against the boards. It's flipped along the boards. Dalvis, he bounced it out in front of the net. And after it on the far side, now is Peary. Peary at center ice. He gets it up against his chest. The Soviets get control of it again. Harlamov over the line. Harlamov trying to make a move on the net. And the puck just rolls to the side of the net. Is in there as well was Mihailov. Mihailov back to the blue line. Fedosov. He shoots it in there. It's loose in front of the net, but it's poked away by goaltender Paul Pajot. Mihailov in the corner. Check thrown on Petrov, the centerman on this veteran line. Now Mihailov, number 13, back out to the blue line. Fedosov. Here's the shot. It strips wide of the net and bounces up into the crowd and is called for a faceoff.
Hooking penalty going to be called by Jim Nichols again. Canada going to be short to Randy Gregg. Randy Gregg coming over to the box along with referee Nagels. A hook is going to be the call. We see the action in front of the net. Warren Anderson's trying to stop the original shot. Paul Pajot being in. And Randy Gregg saying, well, what am I doing? Look, there's the arm going up.
10:47 the time of the penalty. Gregg off for hooking. Shots on goal at this point, 8-3 favor the Soviets. They've had some good chances, but Pajot has made some great stops early in this game. Face-off will be outside Canada's blue line. They're playing shorthanded for the second time, but they lead 1-0 on Jim Nils' goal at 1:35 of the first period. From the faceoff, inside the blue line now. Picked up and cleared down the ice by Spring. Back to get it for the Soviets. Pervukin working along with Makarov. And Makarov gets that pass from Golikov. And it's poked away and back into the zone again. Billy Litvinov over to the far side for Pervukin. Around the net comes Golikov. He drops it off. Billy Litvinov behind the net. Billy Litvinov ahead. Golikov. This is Victor Golikov at center ice to his brother Alexander over the line. Cuts to the corner. Trying to find his point man. Winds up in the corner with it. Alexander Golikov clearing it to the far boards for Pervukin. In against the boards, Alexander Golikov. He tried to clear it in front. Here's a catch for Canada. It went off, or at least for the Soviets, but it went off a leg and into the corner. Now against the boards on this side, and a good hard collision in against the boards involving Glenn Anderson and Billy Litvinov. Now the Soviets again trying to come out. It's fed back for Pervukin. We've got 59 seconds remaining in the penalty. Over to the far boards now. Over skating the puck is Golikov. Canada gets possession of it. Out at center ice for Canada. That's Waters. Waters waiting for mates to get on the ice. Now clears it along the boards. Primo in forechecking, but controlling the puck for the Soviets. Billy Litvinov. He gets it over to this side for Pervukin. Pervukin can't get out of the zone. It's dropped off for Makarov with 34 seconds left of the penalty. Makarov is over the line. Makarov cutting for the far boards. Now Lebedev looking for that pass around the boards, and he gets it on this side. Out in front of the net. It's taken it into the corner again. The Soviets just skating around with it now. That's Krudov. Krudov out to the blue line. Vasiliev winding up. There's the shot, and it drifts wide of the net with Krudov right in front. Now to the far side. Kept in by Starikov. Into the corner it goes with 10 seconds left of the power play. Taking it now is Krudov. Krudov trying to get it out in front. Gives it to Lebedev. Out to the blue line. Just keeping it in there with Starikov. And the penalty has expired. Grigby getting back into the play now. Here's the shot. It's blocked in the defense. Comes over to this side. Shot into the corner. And Canada successfully killed off the penalty. Now into the corner on the far side. For Canada, that's Primo jamming in there. Here comes Canada with Randy Gregg. The lead pass. Breaking down on the left side. Heinmark. He's over the line. And the puck is cleared out by the Soviet defense. Back in over the line for the Soviets. That's Lebedev. He tried to get a shot away. And then it dropped it. There was nobody there. Intercepted by Heinmark. At center ice, it's O'Malley. He winds up from center ice. It's blocked by Frenchak and cleared behind the net for the Soviets. Vasiliev clearing it out to center ice. It just drops off there. Down over the line comes Krudov. He gets the shot away. The rebound is cleared out to center ice, and knocking it down out there is Starikov. He feeds it back to Vasiliev. Vasiliev out over center ice now, carrying the puck is Swartzov over the line. Swartzov for the man in front. That rolls it in front. They score. The puck is passed by Swartzov in front of the net, and the Soviets have evened this hockey game up.
Swartzov breaking wide, just threw the puck into the pile in front of the net, and whether it touched Balderas or one of Canada's men going in trying to cover him. We see Swartzov going wide on the one-on-one situation. He just throws it over, and there we see two defenders. It may have gone off the back checker coming back. Whether or not Balderas touched it or not, I'm not sure. There's the lot pass just coming across. Two Canadian players checking on Balderas, but the puck going in behind Peugeot.
We'll have to wait for the official announcement. Swartzov will obviously get a point on it. It's a 1-1 tie here as the puck is cleared into the corner. After it, it's cleared down the ice. There'll be icing on this one if it has enough juice. It does. It goes down. Finisoff will be touching it, but the icing is waved off. They felt he could get to it before it crossed the red line. So now it's Kazatonov at center ice over the line. Now down into the corner. Swartzov in the corner after it. They jam in there, comes to the area in front of the net, rolls right into Pajot, and he holds it. We'll have a face-off in the Canadian zone.
Helmut Balderas scoring the goal. Another look at it. Swartzov just lobbing that puck across in front of the net. And we still don't see who touches it, whether it went off the Canadian defender coming back with Balderas or whether Balderas was able to get a stick on it. We're not sure, but getting credit for the goal, Helmut Balderas.
And the assist on it, Swartzov and Shlutov. Shlutov setting it up, of course. Face off to the left of the Canada goal. There's a shot, a screenshot, too. Just kicked away by Pajov on the far boards now. Anderson, Glenn Anderson, gets it out to center ice. Anderson chasing after it as he comes to the line, but coming back to make the check on him. That was Petrov. Petrov at center ice, hitting the line. Petrov over for Mihailov. He gets to the side of the net, but he had the short side, a bad angle to shoot at, and it winds up against the boards for Harlamov. Shot from the blue line by Pervukin. It's blocked. Here's Pervukin again. The shot comes right in. Here's a chance for Petrov. Rolls in front of the net, and down goes Spring, and it's underneath him, and he holds it for the face-off.
Well, Team Canada doing a good job defending, but this is the problem with taking the penalties. Canada has taken 2 penalties early, and what you do is you get yourself in a mindset. You have to defend. Here's Johnny Spring just sprawling in front of that shot, bringing it under him to kill it. But your mindset then is in defense. Defense, you're defending all the time. Now Team Canada's even, and it's tough enough trying to get back on the attack again and trying to put some pressure on the Soviets.
There you see Boris Mihailov, another veteran who has been, well, his first Olympics, 1972. He's looking for his 3rd gold medal as a hockey player. Out from the face-off, Harry O'Malley clearing it out to center ice. Shots on goal, by the way, 14-3 favor the Soviets. The Pajot has been busy. It's a 1-1 tie at center ice. It's fed back into the Soviet end. There it's taken by Vasilyev. He gets it out to Makarov. Makarov over for Starikov, the defenseman. He gets to the line now, trying to fight his way through, and he is bumped off the puck by O'Malley, who came across. And against the boards on this side now, it's Canada trying to come out at center ice. Overskating the puck is Heinmarch. In against the boards, it comes down into the Soviet end. Back is Vasilyev along with Devani. Cleared around the boards. In for checking is Heinmarch. It's cleared out to center ice. Here come the Soviets now with Makarov over the line. Makarov. And he is bumped off the puck. Coming back to get the puck is Devani, and he clears it out to center ice. There's taken by Starikov. Starikov shooting it in. O'Malley deep in his own end. Is standing there. O'Malley firing it off the boards. And Canada's coming away with it now. Here comes Canada with Maxwell. Maxwell over to the far side. Taken by Grant. Grant. Now to McLean. McLean at center ice, working to the line. He's checked by Vasilyev. He fights for it. But now coming in to take the loose puck and feed it back was Maxwell, but the Soviets again come away as Maltsev's got it. Maltsev over the line. Maltsev cutting into the slot. Maltsev getting set, and he fanned on the shot as he was harassed all the way down by Canberry, and he took a hard hit in the corner. Canada's out to center ice with it. Down over the line they come. Maxwell winding up. The shot went off the leg behind everybody, and there's a shot that's just wide of the net taken by McLean against the board. It's hoisted up into the crowd, and it's called for a face-off. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. Face-off, the puck is out at center ice now, down over the line for the Soviets. That's Starikov. Into the corner it goes. Balder is fighting for it in there, and they try and pin it in. Canada will, but it's poked away from Supancic. And against the boards. Shlukov around behind the net. On this side, Sportsov is in for checking as well. Canada trying to halt play if they can, and they do. Waters pinning it in, and is called for a face-off. During our first intermission, part of our package will include highlights of the Czechoslovakia-Sweden game, which was played just before this one here at the main Fieldhouse, and an exciting hockey game that one was. Ernie Pascal will have those highlights for you, and a very interesting result of that game, too. Here's a shot as the puck is wide of the net. So watch for that during our first intermission. Now Filialetov out in front of the net. The chance for the Soviets. Shlukov trying to get the shot away, but Canada comes away with it now at center ice. Out at center ice, it's Spring having trouble controlling it. The Soviets come right back. Down over the line comes Sportsov. Sportsov dropping it back to Balderas. Balderas over for Shlukov, and the shot is blocked at the defense. Canada trying to control it, get it away. Now they have it. Out comes Canada. Tim Waters at center ice. Supancic. Supancic with Peary as he goes over the line. Peary's got a chance in front of the net, but he's taken from behind. And Canada going for a change on the play. Blew a good scoring opportunity. Now Balderas over the line. His shot is wide of the net. In deep is Mihailov. He's behind the net. Can't get it. After it is Balderas. It's cleared around to the far side. Supancic spinning it and kicks it along the boards. Joe Grant will hold it in along with Petrov, and it's called for a face-off in Team Canada territory.
Well, although it looks like Canada blew an opportunity with Brad Peary moving in, dropping it in the middle of a change, that's when you have to change. You have to change when you go on the other team's end. You can't change when the puck's in your end. There's a lot of pressure on you, and there was a lot of pressure before Canada broke out. And that's the time you have to make the change when you're going the other way with the puck.
All right, the face-off. Go Canada go here in the Olympic Arena at Lake Placid. Canada and Soviets deadlocked at 1 with 2:19 remaining in the period. Territorially, it's been a Soviet period. Canada's done a pretty good job around its own net. That has a tremendous number of great scoring chances. In against the boards, although the shots on goal wouldn't indicate that. Now in the corner, Joe Grant trying to pin it in there, and it'll be held for a face-off again to the right of the Canada goal. There's Boris Mikhailov, who is only one of 3 players in the Soviet Union to receive the Order of Lenin. He, along with goaltender Vladislav Tretiak and Vsevolod Bobrov, who played for many, many years with the team as a defenseman and later was a coach in the Soviet national team. On the face-off, Canada's been doing a pretty good job in the face-off department. 111 of 18 so far. Puck is over the line. Glenn Anderson trying to fight for it now. They go to the area in front of the net. The puck is in the corner. After it in there is Nil. He's being checked. The puck comes out to center ice past Terry O'Malley. Here's the race for Mikhailov and O'Malley. Down goes O'Malley, playing a little interference there. Gets to it and beats Mikhailov. And that was just some experience on the part of O'Malley. Certainly the much fleeter Mikhailov still couldn't get to the puck before he got to him simply because he ran interference.
Well, that's what you have to do when you're chasing, because remember, you've got to pivot and turn and go back, and the opposition just has to go one way.
Fellow in the middle of your picture, Brian Engblom of the Montreal Canadiens. They flew down. I'll tell you, they're in a rough schedule right now. Last night they were in Landover, Maryland, where they lost to the Washington Capitals. Flew back last night and then flew into Lake Placid this morning to cheer Canada on. I think that's just great. 3 members of the Canadiens. Heinmarch now will take the draw against Makarov. Release Golikov on the face-off. Quick shot and a glove save there by goaltender Vladislav Tretiak.
Well, the importance again of getting that face-off, and it's interesting that John Devaney was waved out along with Golikov. It was David Heinmarsh who won the face-off to Devaney, who was waved out to get the opportunity.
Here's Heinmarsh after the puck in front of in the corner now, battling against the boards along with Kasatonov. He goes down, but coming through to pick up that puck was Devaney. Behind the net, he loses it to Fedosov. Fedosov then takes it into the corner. It's cleared out to center ice for the Soviets. Down over the line comes Golikov to Makarov. Makarov, number 24, out in front of the net, and it went off a couple of legs, and then it's rolled all the way to Fedosov. Fedosov getting the shot away, sliding along the ice to block that one was Randy Gregg. In against the boards. Canada taking over once again. Circling with it is Warren Anderson. Comes back behind the net. Forechecking for the Soviets, Makarov. Now moving in is Golikov, but the puck is cleared to the far boards. Randy Gregg at center ice. Over the line it comes, and they call it on 2 lines, I believe. I didn't like to call too much, but 1:02 remaining in the period, and a 1-1 tie here.
John Devaney just moving in between the Soviet defenders. You see him going off as they're making a change. Nice little pass from Randy Gregg. Just slid it between the defenders, just a half a stride outside of the blue line, where he had an opportunity to move in for a good shot on Tretiak.
All right, face-off will be right at center ice. They'll drop it right on the red line at center ice. And from the face-off, it's back. Canada winning yet another draw here as Waters gets it. Waters to Spring. Spring shooting it in. Digging in after it with less than a minute remaining now is Paul McLean, but he loses it. The Soviets feeding it out to center ice. It goes off the stick at center ice of Krutov. And back to get in his own end is Spring. Spring over to the far boards. Starting out for Canada, Waters. Waters out at center ice. Busting over center ice was Ken Perry. And he caused a tremendous pileup as he tried to get that pass. And then he managed to even maintain any part of his balance. Puck comes out to the over the line and is cleared back in. Had he maintained any part of his balance, he would have been home free on that. The 2 Soviet defenders went down.
Well, what a check. What a check. Paul McLean just threw a tremendous check on the Soviet player. I believe it was either Vasilyev or Perbukin, but he just leveled him. We're going to get a look at it. Just moving in. He's playing the puck with his hand. Just coming. Oh, that hurts. When you're off the boards and you get hammered into them like that, checks like that, it would slow down players.
All right, the faceoff will be just outside the blue line. With 30 seconds remaining in the first period, a 1-1 deadlock. From the faceoff, cleared back. Gregg shooting it in. Kasatonov. Dealing let it off on the far side. Now out at center ice. And here come the Soviets now down to the line. Carrying the puck is Krutov. He goes into the corner. Krutov looking for a man. And good defensive play there by Warren Anderson to stop play. Now here's a chance for the blue line. And that's kicked out, I believe, by the goaltender or a leg. And Barry, he takes a good hard hit at center ice by Billy Letinoff. Racing forward is Randy Gregg. He fights off a check. But the puck goes by him. And Barry loses it at center ice to Lebedev as the horn goes to end a pretty good first period of hockey.
Paul Peugeot going off, and you have to give Paul Peugeot a lot of the credit because a great deal of that period, Canada was under pressure, especially when they killed successfully. 2 penalties against them. The Soviets having no penalties. Paul Peugeot, all his teammates out, give him a little pat there. What you have to have is that great goaltending in tight hockey games like this.
12-6, the shots on goal officially at the end of the first period. Of course, the Soviet Union had the territorial advantage, but Canada did a pretty good job in their own end of keeping things away from Paul Peugeot. So, a 1-1 tie, Canada versus the Soviet Union. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. Yes.
As we mentioned at the outset, goaltending could be a key in this game between Canada and the Soviet Union. And youngster Paul Peugeot, who plays junior in Shawinigan of the Quebec Junior League, has certainly been outstanding in the first period as Canada and the Soviets are deadlocked in a 1-1 tie. We'll have scoring highlights of that game coming up. But earlier today, quite a contest between Sweden and Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia has been eliminated from medal round because they lost today to Sweden. As we review highlights of this game, Pelle Lindberg in goal for Sweden, Kralik for Czechoslovakia. On a power play, Mats Ahlberg scores the first goal. He receives a pass from Naslund, number 15, right there. And Ahlberg scores for Sweden a power play goal. Holmgren, number 18, also gets an assist. It goes to Naslund, number 15, behind the net. The pass in front to Mats Ahlberg, and Sweden takes the lead. They increased it to 2-0. Leif Holmgren and again Naslund, number 15, combining on the scoring play. The pass from Naslund to Holmgren. Naslund, number 15, down the left side, and watch him spot Leif Holmgren, and he fires it home. It's 2-0 for Sweden. And they certainly looked impressive, and their goaltending, Pelle Lindberg there, stopping Preacher, who was set up by Novi. 2-0 after the first period. Then it was on to the second. And 1 goal there, Soderstrom to Naslund, number 15. And it's 3-0 for Sweden, although Czechoslovakia outshot Sweden 17-10 in that second period. But the only goal, Naslund, a perfect setup from Soderstrom. 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. On to the third period, Lindberg, outstanding. Watch the save here he makes on Lukács, number 21. The youngster Lindberg, just 19 years of age. Czechoslovakia's Kozar, a brilliant effort here. Lindberg makes the save, but the puck comes back to Novi. Eriksson drops into the net to try to help out his goalie, but unfortunately they got the puck by him. But look at the move by Kozar. Lindberg makes the save, loses his glove. Novi's there to get the rebound, and Czechoslovakia scores their first goal. Sweden came back though. Lundqvist. They're all around. And Kralik made about 3 saves, but he couldn't stop the final one by Lundqvist, and it was 4-1. Here with Lindberg pinned out of the net, Kozar sweeps around and sends it into the yawning net, and it's 4-2 for Sweden over Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia outshooting Sweden 43-26. And Canada faces a must situation today, either a win or a tie against the Soviet Union, and failing that, they would have to hope that later tonight that Holland defeats Finland or gets 1 point, so Canada would advance into the medal round. But they're really holding their own against the Soviets right now. It's a 1-1 tie after the first period of play. Canada opened the scoring on a goal by Jimmy Nill. The native of Hannah, Alberta, gave Team Canada the early 1-0 lead. They had to kill off 2 penalties in that first period, as referee Jim Nagels gave penalties to Heinmarsh and Gregg, but they did that successfully. Now here's the first goal. Davidson and Anderson combining with Jimmy Nill, and you'll see Ron Davidson move right in front of the net and screens goaltender Vladislav Tretiak. Now here's the play to Jimmy Nill, and he fires it past Tretiak at 1:35 of the first period. The spectators were on their feet. A great goal by Jimmy Nill. Paul Peugeot has been outstanding in goal for Canada. On the one big play in the period, he robbed Krutov from close range as Nill. We get another look at that goal. Now here's Lebedev and Krutov, but Peugeot deflects the puck over the top of the net. Just a dazzling display of goaltending by Peugeot. And there it is again. He deflects that shot from Krutov. The Soviets tied it at 1-1. Alexander Skvortsev, number 26, combining with Zlutov and Helmut Balderas. Skvortsev down the right side, rolls the puck in front. Balderas is there to deflect it past Pajot, although we thought perhaps it had gone off one of the Team Canada defensemen. It's very close. Skvortsev, number 26, just dumps the puck in front. Balderas is there. He gets credit for the goal, and it's a 1-1 tie at this point. But it certainly has been an entertaining 20 minutes of play. Jim Nill scoring for Canada, and Skvortsev getting the goal for the Soviet Union, and that's how it stands at this moment. A 1-1 tie. We'll be going back to the Olympic Fieldhouse for the second period play-by-play coming up. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. Here's Tom and Ron.
All right, back at the Olympic Fieldhouse, a 1-1 tie. Jim Nill with his first goal of this Olympic Games, and Helmut Balderas with his 5th goal. And Canada did a pretty good job in that first period of playing defense in their own end. A lot of territorial play for the Soviets, but the shots on goal, we have an official count of 12-6. We should mention right here that Brian Smith of CJOH Ottawa is doing his own statistics on this game. And Brian came up with the shots on goal total more like 16-4. But as I said, a lot of them from bad angles. A lot of shots have been blocked by the defense. The Team Canada's done a good job in that department. The puck is cleared from the face-off down into the Soviet end. Penisoff around the boards on this side. It is taken and cleared out by Harlamov to center ice. He can't get by the defense. And coming back is Randy Gregg. There's a shot. He scores! Randy Gregg has scored, and Canada has taken a 2-1 lead 19 seconds into the period.
Randy Gregg, the Team Canada captain, a medical doctor who's taken the year off, just moved in and got that puck inside the center ice red line, made a good move on Kazakhnov, moved inside and shot. Here you see the check being made. Randy Gregg coming up with the puck. Now watch this little move by under Kazakhnov. Just inside, shoots. Trechak seems to have trouble on the glove side. Gets a piece of it, but the puck goes in. Canada goes ahead again. 2-1 on the long shot by Randy Gregg.
Randy Gregg unassisted. At the 19-second mark, and Canada, for the second straight period, is struck early. They scored their goal in the first period at 1:35. 2-1. Canada is leading. And from the face-off, the Soviets have the puck once again. Starikov trying to beat it along the boards. Couldn't. He has to go back into his own end for it. In for checking for Canada. That's Maxwell. Maxwell can't reach it as it's cleared out to center ice. McLean over to Waters on this side. Boy, the crowd's come alive here as Maxwell shoots it in. McLean going in deep for it. Maxwell trailing. He's got the puck. Maxwell flipping it along the boards, chasing it, but the Soviets have it. Coming out of his own zone now, down over the line for the Soviets. Cleared behind the net. Canada takes over once again. Spring, he can't get it by. The puck is cleared to the side of the net. Hugging the post there is Pajot. They waltz it around behind the net, and now Canada coming away with it. Starting out is Maxwell. Maxwell over to Waters, out at center ice for McLean. It went right through his legs. Maxwell trailing on the play. Maxwell in the side, and he got a backhand shot away. Now it's McLean. McLean unable to get by the forechecking of Balderas. Now it's cleared back inside the zone, flipped off the back boards. And out to center ice. The Soviets down over the line. Overskating the puck on the right wing was Makarov. Now Canada, Maxwell getting into the blue line. Now there's a shot that tripped wide of the net off the leg. Waters behind the net. He pins it in against the netting, and it's called for a faceoff. All the teams will change. Canada's taken the lead. We're a minute and a half into the second period. They lead 2-1. There's the referee, Jim Nagels, from the United States. All of the officials in this game are American.
Well, I'd like to call some penalties against the Soviets. Right there, Balderas just gave Donnie Spring a shot. Here he's pushing behind the net. Team Canada trying to keep them away. There's a little shot, a little tap. That's what we don't want to do. We don't want to retaliate there. But no, there doesn't seem to be any penalties for the Soviets. They got a credit card.
Victor Golikov facing off against Ron Davidson from the face-off. Pervukin moves in, but it'll be called as there was some infraction along the rim of the face-off circle. There's the team captain, the hero of the moment, Dr. Randy Gregg. And close up there of Vladimir Golikov. from the face-off. Back to Pervukin. He winds up. The shot is blocked by Neal. Out at center ice. Race for the puck with Anderson. They're coming across and cutting off any further play there was Billy Letinoff from the right defense spot. Now it's cleared out over center ice. Just getting a stick on it to break that play up was Joe Grant, and Canada comes right back. Over the line comes Davidson. Davidson trying to get around Makarov. It goes into the corner. Racing after it on the side is Grant. It's cleared out to center ice, and coming across ice is Kerry O'Malley. O'Malley beating it along the boards. Now turning. It's Alexander Golikov. Anderson, he is partially checked, but the puck comes over the line now. Whether it is Makarov looking for a man in front. Here's a chance. The shot is wide of the net. It comes out to Pervukin. Pervukin into the corner. Grant's got it. Grant flipping it behind the net. There's nobody there. Makarov gets it out of play. His chance for the Soviets. Another shot, and it's off the shoulder of Pajot and into the corner. Good stand-up goaltending there by Pajot. Out at center ice. Down the line, Peary. Peary working for the corner. Still got that puck as he fights his way behind the net. Peary doing a great job as he is spun around at the side of the net. Peary still in after it. Also moving in is Dalbese. The Soviets try to bring it out, but it's intercepted by Subacin. Here's the shot. Score! Canada's taking a 3-1 lead. Oh, look at the celebration in this Olympic Fieldhouse. It's going crazy. 3-1 Canada. I don't believe it. It's great.
It's absolutely fantastic. Brad Peary, who has been moved up to forward, he's been playing in defense. The coaching staff decided to go with 11-7-2, and Brad Peary had to move up, and he just did a tremendous job of moving down the boards earlier. Here we see Zupancic moving the puck to him. He winds up. He's got some room. I think Tretiak was a little deflected, or a little screened by the Soviet defender trying to block the shot. Here he is moving out. We see the Soviet defender just going down as the shot comes. I'm not sure that Tretiak saw all of it. The puck getting by him. Canada moving ahead 3-1 here early in the second period.
3-1. Time of that goal was 2:38. Zupancic will get the assist. And over the line comes Team Canada once again. They're on the attack as Greg shoots it in there, and it's off a leg and into the corner. Maltsev clearing it around the boards and out to center ice. Here's a race for the puck all the way down the ice. Coming across ice is Davidson. It goes behind the net. After it there for Canada, Devani, he clears it around to the far boards, and here's Greg. Greg got the go-ahead goal here. Greg's at center ice. Canada leading 3-1 as the puck is cleared all the way down into Soviet territory. Back to touch it is Fedosov. No icing as the puck is cleared along the boards. Lebedev, he can't get out. Now Devani controlling it inside the blue line. Rolls it to the goal mouth, and it's cleared off to the side. Canada now all over the Soviets as the puck is cleared to the side of the net. Soviets control, can't get it out of the zone as this time Fedosov had his problems. Now out at center ice, Canada. Greg feeding it ahead. It's off Zupancic or Heinmark's skate into the corner. The Soviets take over once again as Kazanov gets it. Icing will be the call. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. From the face-off, the puck is at center ice. Canada, Maxwell, beating it back into his own end. Out for Barry, but he couldn't reach it. As it's taken by Starikov, he shoots it in. Behind his own net. Carrying the puck is Waters. Waters coming out. Waters on the right boards for McLean. Out at center ice. It's off the skate of Barry. He's been all over the ice tonight. Barry trying to roll it in front of the net for Maxwell. It rolls right to the goal mouth and is steered away to Petrov. Petrov flipping it out over center ice. No icing on this one as Waters goes back along with Harlamov. Harlamov goes down. So does Waters. And Waters appears to be shaken up a bit on that play, although he's up on his feet. The puck is clear to the far boards and Barry shooting it out to center ice. Stopping up out at center ice and bringing it to McLean. McLean 1-on-1, the shot, and oh, what a save there by Tretiak as he picked out what was, I thought, a screen shot. Good move at the line. And Tretiak had to come up big on that one.
Kenny Barry moving into the hole. Here's the check. Harmalov and Waters going into the boards together. Waters gets turned around. There you see the pain on his face going down, hitting the boards. Paul McLean coming back. A quick shot using the defenseman as a screen. Tretiak gloving the puck, holding it for the face-off.
An interesting statistic here in face-offs won, and we've got one now, an important one deep in the zone. Canada has won 21 of the 31 face-offs in this game. It's always a department that Canada has excelled in against the Soviets. And it can be a very important statistic. Here's a chance to get the puck up in the zone. Now in is Davidson. He's out in front and panning on it with Spring. Now it's rolled in front. Oh, a good chance there for Davidson. Now another chance for Canada. A shot. It's right on. Loose puck. Down goes Tretiak. It's underneath him. Canada really putting the pressure on here in the second period, and they've got a 3-1 lead.
Well, Tretiak coming up with 2 excellent stops on that series, and he has to come up with those saves. Canada just pulling out all stops here early in the second period. The 2 quick goals. The original shot just being stuck through. The deflection, he goes low from Davidson. Gets it. The puck is moved. Jimmy Nill lobs it in again. The second opportunity by Glennie Anderson. Tretiak making a good move to stop and kill that puck.
Interesting statistic here. The shots on goal, 7-0 favor Canada in this period. And they've got 2 goals to show for it. Broken a 1-1 tie. We played 4 minutes, 43 seconds here in the period. The puck is out to center ice. O'Malley getting it at the boards, feeding it along. Working it along the boards is Jimmy Nill, and it's cleared in by Nill. It bounces right back past Fieldhouse. Cleared around the boards. Hard check thrown in there. The puck is out at center ice. Here come the Soviets, 2-on-1. Down over the line now. Golikov trying to get it in front. It's broken up by Terry O'Malley. Now the Canadians come back at center ice. Over the line, it's Anderson cutting in front of the net. It's loose. The shot just over top of the net. Oh, out in front, and Fieldhouse steered that one into the corner. Fieldhouse, and he got a penalty being called here, I believe, as the play is whistled down. Great chance for Canada.
Joe Grant just moved up quickly on that play to create the 3-on-2 opportunity, but I see Joe limping going to the bench. You better get some ice on that because we need all the troops that we can get in this hockey game. We need all the bodies we have and all the legs we have. Soviet defender going off on the play, but Grant moving in. There's Grant with that shot, just missing the top corner. Tretiak not able to get it, the puck bouncing over the net, coming back out.
Fieldhouse will go off for hooking at 4:10. There he heads for the penalty bench right now, shaking his head. Correct that time. It is 5:10 here in the period. 5:10 in the second period, and Canada has the first power play advantage of the hockey game for them. They were shorthanded twice in the first period and killed it off both times. From the face-off, now it's rolled over to the far side. And now the Soviets with Maltsev intercepting that clearing pass. Now he is stopped right at the blue line. He started to fiddle around with it a little too much. And moving in and making a check against him was Warren Anderson. And instead of having to regroup down to their own end, they managed to get the face-off against the boards in Soviet territory.
Well, one of the things you have to be careful with the Soviets, Canada wants to put the pressure on here, but they'll attack you. If they get the opportunity, they won't just lob that puck out. They'll attack and try to make a play offensively, even over short.
Heinmark, cross ice. Zupancic couldn't knock it down. That comes along the boards. Gregg knocked down, so it's Maltsev as he tried to get around Gregg. Good job there by Gregg as Maltsev tried to circle him on the play. Now Randy Gregg turning in his own end. Ahead at center ice, Zupancic hooked as he tried to get the pass over to Dalvis. Canada still with that puck. Now Anderson over to Zupancic. He's over the line. Zupancic into the corner, stopped up against the board. Moving in to check him on the play is Lebedev, and it's cleared down into Team Canada territory with 1:14 left in the power play. Behind his own net, Warren Anderson. He'll carry the puck himself as he lugs it to the blue line to center ice. Anderson hitting the line now, shooting it in. Cleared around the boards. After there is Starikov. Cleared around the boards, but stopped on the boards on this side by Dalvis. Moving in is Gregg to throw a check to the puck is cleared down the ice. And back to get it for Canada will be Anderson once again. Anderson with Pajot way out of his net. Soviets have changed on the fly. Now Canada with Anderson carrying the puck at center ice. Clears it over to Devani. Devani trying to circle the defense. Gets into the corner. Devani. Canada controlling it. Working to the side of that. And a shot. And it just went wide. Just cutting out in front of that net was Kevin Primo. Now again it's rolled out in front. And the Soviets come away with it. At center ice. Carrying that puck over to the far side. And there'll be a penalty called. And tripped up on the play was Vasiliev on that breakout. And so Canada will have the remaining 26 seconds of their power play nullified, and McLean will go on.
Well, again, this is the acting that the Soviets do, and it was a hook. There's no question about it, but it may not have been called unless Vasiliev takes the dive. Here we see Paul McLean coming back. He's got that stick on him. See, he could have got down, maybe around that a little bit. The hook was there. There's no question about that. But I'm not so sure whether Vasiliev had to go down. I think he should have carried on with that puck to the net. He went down to draw the penalty, make sure it was called.
Well, if you're going to go down, might as well emphasize it. Claire Drake, the coach, along with Lauren Davis behind the bench of Team Canada. And the face-off will be outside the blue line. The team's playing at 5 aside right now, but In 25 seconds or so, Canada will be at a manpower disadvantage. They lead this game 3-1 against the boards. Heinmarch digging into the Soviet zone. Along with him is Pervukin. Pervukin throws the check on him. It's cleared around the boards to the other side. Mihailov trying to get it out in front. Elects to shoot it behind his net to Pervukin. Now out to Harlamov. A ring wide pass for Mihailov. He's down over the line. Mihailov on the boards. Gives it to Harlamov. Harlamov stopping in the corner. Back out to the blue line. The penalty is over to Fedosov. He's on the ice and in the play now. Harlamov against the far boards. Harlamov trying to roll it in front. It's down and loose in there and underneath. Tim Waters cut across and called for a face-off with 1:21 left in the penalty to Paul McLean.
Well, the favorite Soviet play on the power play, they like to move their defenseman right down off the edge of the crease, and that's what Fedosov was doing after he comes. You can't see him on the right-hand side of your picture, but David Heinmarch can't see him. Here he comes, right in the edge of the picture. That's the defenseman there, moving down off the edge, trying to get the opportunity, but they like to move those defensemen down for the shot off the edge of the crease when they have the man advantage.
Face off and it's back to the blue line, controlled by Kasatonov against the boards for Harlamov. Harlamov, along with Petrov and Mihailov out there. There's Fedosov with it. In for Petrov. He's the centerman on the line. And Fedosov got it out over the line and came back in offside. Hopped over Fedosov's stick as he tried the stick handle. And they're arguing for an intentional offside. Lenny Anderson is. I don't think they're going to get it. And the face-off will be outside the blue line. There's Glenn Anderson, the youngest member of Team Canada at the age of 19. What a hockey player this young fella is. Burnaby, BC. 1:07 remaining in the penalty. Davidson will take the draw. Davidson, Anderson, Spring, and Waters, the penalty killers. Petrov facing off from the face-off. They're down over the line, and Anderson hoists it down the ice. Fedosov will corral it down in his own zone. Fedosov circling back behind his own net. And the organized things now is Fedosov. Starts out, gives it to Harlamov. The pass was behind him, and is cleared inside the zone by Nil. Nil cutting in front of that. Nil on the backhand with Davidson. And his shot. That was Anderson, and he couldn't get the shot away, and he's dumped in front of the net, and there will be a penalty called. Anderson and Nil got in there and really got things messed up, and it very nearly led to a goal, but did draw a penalty.
Well, Kenny Anderson just taking the bull by the horns and trying to move right across. It looked like he was too deep to make some kind of a play, but you have to remember that extra 3 feet in international hockey behind the net. He seems to go very deep, but then walks right out in front of the net. Jimmy Nil slipping him the puck, and he looks to be deep, really deep. He comes right out in front of the net across from the edge. Kasatonov pulls him down. As he's going down, he tries to scoop it underneath Tretiak, but the penalty to the Soviets.
Kasatonov, number 7 for the Soviets, is in the penalty box. McLean has 46 seconds remaining in his penalty. The time of the penalty to Kasatonov for tripping at 7:58. So they are even. They will be even for 46 seconds, barring further penalties, and then Canada will go back on the power play once again. Puck is against the boards. It's flipped behind the net. Vasiliev couldn't knock it down. Starikov behind the net, and right in on top of him is Devani. Now the Soviets with Starikov in possession. Out at center ice. There's it down into Team Canada territory. After it is Anderson, and what's happened here now? Offside at the line, and or do we have a penalty being? Oh, it's icing. All right, we've got it straight. And Nichols will call him to come back down into the Soviet zone for a face-off to the right of Vladislav Tretiak. There you see the story. The Soviet in the penalty box is Kasatonov. 28 seconds left in the penalty to Paul McLean. He is standing up in the penalty bench from the face-off for the Soviets. Makarov coming up the right towards the center ice now. Makarov is down over the line, chasing him with Spring. Makarov trying to sweep around the defense, stops up in the corner, feeds it back through the blue line to Vasiliev. Vasiliev over to Starikov. He got a shot right on. Now it's in the corner. They wrestle for it in there, and they'll draw the face-off to the right of Pajot. And the Team Canada goal with 7 seconds left in the penalty to McLean.
I look to see this because now we know we've got the Soviets on the run. They're getting upset. Golikov upset, that extra little thrust. They're a little talking to one another. I noticed number 13, the Soviet captain, Mikhailov, yakking at the rest of his players, and they're upset. Maltsev chewing at the referee. All these little indications you don't usually see from the Soviet team. They're beginning to become a little frustrated. Down 3-1 almost halfway through the game.
What you just saw, by the way, on the Team Canada goal was the first shot in this period for the the Soviets. What a great defensive job Canada has been doing, along with, of course, their offense. With the old line, their best defense is a good offense. But they have had territorial control here. Face-off, Slutov, the tallest member of the Soviet team at 6'3", facing off against Randy Gregg from the face-off. Tervuken moves in, and his shot is blocked by Pajot. Dead on. Now, here's McLean out on the ice. He is finished up with his penalty now. It's cleared out over center ice. McLean racing after it. After it down there as well as Tervuken. McLean gets in there. No icing on the play. McLean tying things up now. Clears it to the side of the net. Canada trying to get out in front. That's Maxwell in there. Now, around the net it goes. Berry out to the blue line. Berry gets the return pass. In against the boards. Greg's in deep. Watch him in front of that net now. Here's the fake shot. Now it's cleared in the corner on a give-and-go type play. And Berry was hooked on the play. Couldn't get in. Now it's cleared in front. And it's intercepted and cleared out to center ice by the Soviets. That was Balderas shooting it down the ice, and back to get it is Warren Anderson. Now he feeds it off on the right boards for Maxwell. 34 seconds left of the power play. Maxwell shooting it in around the boards to the far side. In deep is McLean. He can't reach that puck, and the Soviets start to bring it out again at center ice. Down over the line comes Slutov. Slutov trying to cut through the defense, and he's unable to. Turning and coming back with the puck for Canada is Randy Gregg. Gregg at center ice. Gregg hitting the line. Gregg dropping it back, and there was nobody there as McLean did not expect that pass. It's cleared out over center ice. Intercepted by Terry O'Malley. Back over the line. The 7 seconds remaining in the power play as Maxwell goes into the corner. Maxwell circling with it. 3-1. Canada leading. Over to this side, and it was spanned on by Anderson. Is behind the net. Berry's got it. Berry over to the far boards now. Taken by Maxwell. Maxwell in deep. They're trying to get it to Anderson in front, but he is unable to get it. There's a big collision back there. The penalty is over. And it's Maxwell. Maxwell in the corner. He is checked off the puck by Slutov. Players go down, but Berry has been all over the ice in this hockey game. Feeds it out to center ice. Anderson getting it over for Terry O'Malley inside his own blue line. O'Malley at center ice, feeding it into the corner. After it is Jimmy Nill behind the net. Nill being checked in against the boards, and the play is whistled dead on the icing, so it'll be called back into the Team Canada zone. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. Well, they've got the area right in front of the Team Canada net completely bottled up right now. If we get a wide shot of it, you'll see it. But the face-off to the right of the Team Canada goal from the face-off. It's Canada trying to kick it away. They do. Brought to center ice now. Here's Anderson breaking loose. Anderson with Nill coming up behind. Anderson stops up, feeds to Nill. And Nill had got behind Fetisov, but he couldn't knock down that puck. Now it's down in the corner in Soviet territory and held for another face-off with 9:11 remaining in the period and a little shoving going on. So, as Tom mentioned a couple of moments ago, the Soviets are getting stirred up a little bit. Of course, Canada's been doing a good job of laying on the body in this game. There's Buddy Anderson. And I believe he's going to be heading for the penalty bench. So Anderson is going off, but going off with him will be Kazatanov for the second time in a row. So Kazatanov goes off, probably roughing. There's Whiten and Dowding, the figure skating pair for Canada in the audience. A lot of celebrities here to watch this game. George Allen, the former coach of the Los Angeles Rams and Washington Redskins here. Anderson and Kazatanov go off. 10:49 will be the time, so the teams will be short a man. Each team, 3-1, Canada is leading. They play just a tremendous period. Kazatanov, the call on Kazatanov, I believe it's for tripping. Here's the passage inside over the blue line. Now into the corner it goes. After it is Dalvis. Dalvis circling away. It's kept in, right in on Krejciak. He made the save on the short side. And picking it off is Mihailov. He shoots it out to center ice. Watch out for Petrov out there. He's behind Spring. Now here's Mihailov. Down over the line he comes. Mihailov circling the net. Cutting in front of the net there for the Soviets is Vasilyev. It's back to the blue line for Starikov. Here's the shot. It trips in and hit the back, I believe, of Mihailov. He's got the puck. Out to the blue line. The shot by Petrov. And it rolls to the side of the net. After it is Spring in there, he flips it along the boards. For Canada, it's Dalvis. Dalvis out at center ice for Sapatsic. A two-line pass. And it's called for the face-off. Don't forget, tomorrow, CTV, the coverage of the 13th Winter Olympics here in Lake Placid, New York. A couple of the Soviet skaters we see as well. So we've got a lot of people interested, of course, as they always are when Canada plays the Soviet Union in hockey. And right now, Canada is leading this one 3-1. It's from the face-off. Warren Anderson clearing it around the boards. On this side, Randy Gregg chasing it down. And Gregg comes to center ice along with Devaney. He just fires it in. Devaney's digging in there after it. Also in there is Billy Letinoff, but he loses the puck in the corner. Now it's cleared back to the blue line. Here's Randy Gregg setting up the screen. And he's just wide with it. The puck bounces all the way back out to center ice. Turning with it is Anderson. Anderson starting at center ice now. Anderson ahead. Over the line now. Hindmarch into the corner. Hindmarch taking a check in there. Covering in to cover up is Devaney. Devaney is chased into the boards on this side. Now it's Hindmarch. Hindmarch hooked on the play. Devaney gets it in the corner again. He'll try to get it back out to the point. He does. Gregg shooting it in. Back to get it behind the Soviet net is Vasiliev. Vasiliev starting out. Slowly starting out. Now feeds it behind Makarov with center ice. And Gregg simply had to shoot it right back out to center ice. Primo race for it with Peary. Peary's over the line. Peary into the corner. Peary with Primo cutting in front of the net. It's pinned in against the boards and called for a face-off. And the face-off will be in deep Soviet territory.
What Team Canada has to do at this point with 7:23 remaining is that they have to protect the 3-goal lead. If they get the opportunities and move into the good areas to get the shots, all right, all well and good. There we see Belladina, who is off the ice, apparently just hit over the eye. We saw him go off the ice a little earlier. One of the stalwart defensemen of the Soviet team.
12 seconds remaining in the penalties to Anderson, who's up on his feet in the penalty box, and Kazanov. The face-off will be to the left. Canada, by the way, has won 27 face-offs to just 15 for the Soviets, and Canada's got possession again. It's rolled in front of the net, taking a whack at it there, and completely tied up. On the play was Kevin Primo. It's out at center ice. It bounces over the stick in Canada territory. It's Fieldhouse and clears it away, but he put it right on the stick of Kevin Maxwell. Maxwell at center ice, hitting the line. Maxwell getting set in front. There's the shot, and a good save as it goes into the corner. Anderson clearing it around on this side for Maxwell. Maxwell digging in against the boards. Flipped it into the corner. There's nobody there. The puck is cleared, but not out. It's kept in. Here's Barry skating along the line. Barry is checked off the puck. Out at center ice, Lebedev tried to put it out into the slot area. Went off the skate of Grant, and Grant has got it behind the net. Grant starting out on the left side now. Grant, he's stopped on the play. Here's Mihailov breaking in. Mihailov trying to get set in front of the net. They rolled it in front of right there. Is Anderson back checking, and he comes away with it. Anderson at center ice with Mihailov getting to him, and finally he lost the puck at the blue line. Canada changing on the fly now as the Soviets come out. Lebedev, lead pass for Mihailov. He's all alone. This shot is over top of the net. Great chance for Mihailov. Now cleared out to Fieldhouse. Here's his shot. Oh, that comes off the shoulder of Terry O'Malley, and it's cleared out to center ice once again. Back to get it Kazanov, right at his own blue line. He takes a hit right at the line there by McLean. In comes Canada again in front. He shoots. It's loose in front. Barry fighting away at it. The net comes off its hinges, and Canada had a tremendous chance.
Well, forget about Canada's chance. I'm furious with Demers, the linesman. He wasn't in position. Mikhailov, when he took the pass, I hope we can get this on a replay, had to be a stride and a half inside the blue line onside. The linesman was 2 strides behind the blue line. In no way could he do it. But here we have the opportunity just inside, moving for Team Canada. Kenny Barry all alone in front of the net. There's the tip. Trechak going down, making a good stop. Coming back after the good opportunity from Mikhailov. No, we have, what is this? Running the guy into the goal post and off. They've got the credit card for no penalties.
Face off to the right of the Soviet goal from the face-off. Again, Canada getting a shot away on that one. It's cleared along the boards. Waters keeping it in. Waters around behind the net. Over on the far side, Jimmy Neal digging in after. It's cleared along the boards. Kept in. Neal fighting for it. But the Soviets have the puck now as it's cleared in front of the net. And they start out. Starikov with that lead pass goes all the way down the ice and waved off. No icing on this one is Spring. Turning in the corner. On top of him is Skortsov. Also moving in to help out is Davidson. Into the corner of this side for Waters. Waters along the boards. Glenn Anderson. Canada leading 3-1. If you've just joined us, it was 1-1 at the end of the first period. Turning, coming right back now. Over the line. It is Skortsov into the corner. Skortsov just back passing that one, trying to get around the forecheck, or at least the checking of Canada. Now Davidson in behind the net. Davidson piling in against the boards. Also in there is Balderas. It'll be held for a face-off. Again in Team Canada territory with 5:10 remaining here in the second period.
A good move. When in doubt, you don't throw it blind in your own zone. And Team Canada winning the majority of the face-offs. If you're a little mixed up in your own end, get the face-off. Balderas moving in, coming in a little late there, getting the shot. The puck is all loose. Team Canada not just throwing away blind. Ronnie Davidson holding on to it. Get that face-off. We win the draw, then we get organized in our own zone to bring the puck out.
Shots on goal, by the way, right now unofficially, 11-2 favor Canada, which is a total indication of what the way this period has gone. Canada has played tremendous defensively and have given themselves further defensive play some great opportunities offensively. There's Brian Engel to the right of your screen. There's Doug Jarvis in the crowd as well from the Montreal Canadiens. I'm sure that they're pretty proud of what Canada has done so far in this hockey game. Take time off from a busy schedule, and they, of course, play again tomorrow night, so they're really busy. They were in Washington last night. Puck is cleared out to center ice. Cutting to the line. Over the line they come. It's Canada inside the zone again. Dalvis in the corner. Dalvis poking it along the boards for the Soviets. Taken away, and it's cleared out to center ice. Mihailov ahead. Harlamov over the line. He's being checked by Anderson, and he's slammed in. There's Petrov clearing it right out to center ice between the defensemen. And now we've got a penalty coming up, and there goes Tretiak out of the net. And Soviets now will try to control things in their own end. It's cleared away. Canada trying to control. They can't out of the blue zone. Now comes Harlamov. Harlamov over to the far side for Lebedev. Over the line. Now it's dropped off. Mihailov back to the blue line for Vasiliev. The shot is wide of the net. And it is called for the hooking penalty against Canada. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. Brad Peary going off for hooking in this one at 15:45. Trying to get set now with our alignments. The penalty killers out there for Canada will be Hindmarch, Primo, and back at the blue line, it'll be Don Spring and also Waters. The power play, the Petrov line with Harlamov, Mihailov. Fedosov will be out there. Also, along the blue line, Kazatanov, number 7, behind the net now. Pajot just leaving it there. Now at the side of the net is behind the net. Don Spring will pin it in there and hold it and take the face-off in Canadian territory with 1:50 remaining in the penalty, 4:05 left in the period.
Mikhailov a little frustrated. He's talking to his teammates there, wanting to know where they were when that puck went around. An interesting face-off alignment just inside or outside the Team Canada blue line, where the Soviets place 4 players across the line when they have the man advantage, trying to get the quick break just in front of your blue line.
Waters was going to take the draw against Petrov. Now it'll be Spring. They use the defenseman to take the draw in the zone. See that quite often, Tom. On the face-off, perhaps you can explain why in a little while. Here's Mihailov behind the net. Mihailov along the boards for Petrov. Petrov just against the boards now. Hindmarch takes a swipe at him. Petrov looking for that man in front. Back to Mihailov, back to Petrov. Petrov in the corner. Petrov rolling it out in front now, and it's steered away by Pajot. Here's a shot from the blue line by Kazatanov, and it's cleared along the boards by Waters. In against the boards, taken by Mihailov. Mihailov trying to get it back. Kazatanov's in deep now as they move Harlamov back to the point. Kazatanov to Harlamov. Back to Kazatanov against the board. Kazatanov over for Fedosov. Went off his skate, now to center ice. And back to get it will be Harlamov in his own end, and right in on top of him as Hindmarch is cleared along the boards. And Fedosov, or at least Petrov turning for Mihailov. Mihailov, the captain, over the line. It's dropped off. Fedosov then shot it high into the crowd, and with 1:04 remaining, it'll be called for a face-off. 1:04 remaining in the penalty.
Well, the theory behind the defenseman taking the draw in the own zone, you have to assume in your own end of the rink that you're going to lose the face-off, and that all your players are in a position to move out and cover. Well, that's why the defenseman takes the draw. If we have a forward take the draw and we lose it, it goes to that point, there is no one to chase the point. This way, the defenseman tries to tie it up. We try to get a stalemate. If he wins it in behind him, he's one-on-one with their face-off man, and we're not at a disadvantage. But we assume we're going to lose the draw, but we're in a good position to cover.
I'll tell you something, a fellow who used to do that with a lot of success back in the 60s was Punch Imlach. He used to like to do that, using Carl Brewer as a face-off man many times. Until I think they legislated against him, because Carl used to interfere. And now the puck is cleared down the ice by Canada. Exactly a minute left in the penalty now. 3:13 remaining. In deep, puck is cleared behind the net. And out to the blue line to center ice now. Here come the Soviets. Down over the line. Racing after it is Makarov. Grant's in there on top of him. It's dropped off. One of the Golikov brothers has it now. Starikov back to Golikov. That's Vladimir Golikov. Into the corner. Out in front, Alexander Golikov getting it across. Fake shot here. Makarov trying to get in front of the net, and he's forced back. And behind the net once again. Back out to Starikov at the blue line. He winds up. Oh, and it's blocked very neatly there by Lenny Anderson, and it goes all the way down the ice. Anderson sliding like a defenseman to block that one. Boy, a great effort being put in by Canada here. Vasiliev. He gets it over the line. Golikov shooting it in. Into the corner it goes. Alexander Golikov on this side. Out to Starikov. Back to Golikov. Behind the net now. Taken by Golikov again. Vladimir Golikov into the corner. Alexander Golikov to Starikov at the blue line. Back to Golikov. Golikov getting set. This shot is well wide of net. And the penalty is over. And Fury's back on the ice. They killed off another one. 2:09 remaining in the period. It's behind the net now. The Soviets try to jam it in. It rolls out in front. Here's the shot. It's blocked at the defense. And they whack away at it. It's cleared over to the far boards now. Taken by Vasiliev. He shoots it in. It's gloved and shot down the ice by Terry O'Malley. And we'll get icing on this one. Is going back for it. And touching it in his own zone is Sergei Starikov.
Well, we'll take the icing to get the change. Canada under tremendous pressure. Still holding on to that 3-1 lead. They certainly should be standing. I think the effort that Team Canada's put in this game was typified by Tony Anderson moving out to the point and blocking that shot. Just selling out completely to block the shot from the point, the puck going out into the neutral zone. And that's the type of effort that Canada's had all night from this club.
Now we talk about defensive play. The penalty killing has just been great. No shots on goal during that power play by the Soviets. And they have not been able to score on their power play, and they've had opportunity in this game. Puck is behind the net now. Moving in is Randy Gregg. They try to roll it out in front, and is steered away. And against the boards now. Banged out to center ice. At center ice, it's knocked down. Billy lifted off. He takes a hit by McLean out there, and it's cleared right wide. On the far side, Shlutov over the line. Clears it behind the net. Pajot can't reach it, but Gregg goes in against the boards. Gregg unable to control it against the boards as Balderas is in there. Now Gregg's got it. He flips it around to the far side, and it's picked up by Anderson. Anderson at center ice for McLean. He knocked that pass down, feeds it in now for Barry. Barry going in, and he couldn't get through the defense. After it in the corner is Pervukin. Pervukin out to center ice, past Gregg. It rolls all the way down in Team Canada territory. Flipping it into the corner there is Pajot. He rolls it out in front. Coming back very neatly on that play is Maxwell. He clears it along the boards. It's kept in for the Soviets by Billy Litvinov. Here comes Canada, the long lead pass. Barry gets it, but he had to stop up at the blue line to stop the offside. And that, of course, when you stop up, you just don't have any momentum going. And they caught up to him. Now here comes Canada again. They're checking great. Maxwell over the line with Barry. Maxwell is written off the puck, but I believe it was offside at the line, and it's called for a face-off.
Kevin Maxwell shaking his head. He exchanged a few little gloves in the nose with Biladinov, who is back on the ice after going to the bench for repairs. Here he makes the move, goes a little to the outside. There's Biladinov with a straight arm. Maxwell comes back. Biladinov comes back. Exchanging straight arms, going outside.
The first one was a sort of a little jab right into the nose. Make anybody angry. Kevin Maxwell, Chilliwack, BC, a student at the University of North Dakota and an All-American at the University of North Dakota. 41 seconds remaining in the period. Going into the corner after it now is Fedosov. It's cleared along the boards now, and the Soviets will come out at center ice. They lead the rush now. Krutov is over the line. Krutov going in, and he is wrestled to the ice. And it's flipped out over the blue line with 27 seconds left in the second period. Cleared in over the line. Starting out for Canada, it's Spring to Heinmark. Heinmark tried to bat it off the boards. He stopped at the plate. Rudolph is over the line now with Lebedev cutting to the area in front of the net. He tries to get set. It's rolled out of the slot. Here's the shot. They score! The Soviet Union has scored with 13 seconds left in the second period to narrow it to 3-2. And if there's ever a time you don't want to see a goal scored, it's at this stage of a period.
Well, you have to give the Soviets marks. Young Krutov made about 3 or 4 excellent moves. Here he is handling the puck, and he's the guy that came back against Finland. Going wide, holding on. Here's the first move, inside. And then you see the defenseman moving right down. That's what the Soviets love to do. Kasatonov moving right inside the top of the circle. They come with those defensemen. They don't just stay on the points, especially when they've got you on the run. They take the good percentage shot from the top of the circle. Paul Pajot sprawling, trying to stop it, but the puck goes underneath them.
Kasatonov from Krutov at 1947. The puck is rolled to the side of the net. We've got 6 seconds remaining in the period now as it comes out to Kasatonov at the blue line. His shot is blocked in the defense. Canada takes over. That'll be it. Canada outscores the Soviets 2-1 in the period. And there's Paul Pajot. Has done a great job for Canada, but you've got to give it a total team effort here after 2 periods. Canada is right in this one and lead it 3-2.
But over 14 seconds, those 14 seconds, and it was a 3-1 lead going in. We'd be really tough to catch at this point. 3-2, we're going to have to work right to the end to preserve that. Here we get another look at the goal. Kasatonov just moving in, just at the end of the period. The puck going underneath Pajot. The good play being made by Krutov, just shoveling into the slot after he makes the move from the edge. The Soviet defenseman, as we said before, moving in for the top, good percentage shot from the top of the circle.
The official shots on goal, 11-5, favor Canada in the period. We had a total of 11-4, so we're very close this period at least. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network.
One has to be impressed with the play of our Canadian Olympic team. They lead by 1 goal heading into the third period. In the second, they built up a 3-1 lead at one point. They had 7 shots on goal in the first 4 minutes before the Soviets were able to get a shot at Paul Pajot. Captain Randy Gregg scores after just 19 seconds of play in that second period as he takes the puck away from Harlamov right here. Gregg goes in, a good move on Kazatanov, and Randy Gregg scores for Canada, and it's 2-1. Look at the replay. Harlamov is stopped by Randy Gregg, number 4. Look at the move here on Kazatanov. And Gregg lets go with a drive off Tretiak's glove after just 19 seconds in the second period. Then Canada moved in front 3-1. Stelio Zupancic makes a big play just inside the blue line. Zupancic right here gets the puck to Brad Peary. And Peary beats Tretiak. 3-1 for Team Canada. Peary, the former junior with Peterborough of the OHA. Here's Peary's low, hard drive. And that's 2:38 of the second period. The Soviets got on the scoreboard later in the period as we get another look at the goal by Brad Peary, the camera angle right behind Tretiak. Now Krutov does all the work here, number 9, back to Kazatanov, and it just trickles by Canadian goaltender Paul Pajot. But the youngster Krutov right here does all the work for the Soviets, spots Kazatanov, and his shot eludes goaltender Paul Pajot, and that goal coming in the last minute. Coming up, the third period. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network.
We're coming to you live in the biggest period of hockey that these young fellas from Canada will play, as they have a 1-goal lead going into the third period against the Soviet Union.
And really, the period is for a gold medal opportunity. Canada winning this game would get first place in the division. They don't have to play the Soviets again. Sweden and the United States each have to play the Soviets. Canada already has 2 points in the Soviets going into that round. Canada would be in an excellent position for a gold medal with the win here today.
Now there's a young fella, Paul Pajot from Shawinigan, Quebec, at least from Gatineau, Quebec, near Hull, but he plays in Shawinigan in Quebec Major Junior Hockey and overage junior. The puck is cleared in now, and we're underway here in the third period. And Tom Watt has a line, a word, a single word written in front of him that says discipline. And that's the story, I think, as the puck is frozen in the Canadian zone. Canada must maintain their cool here in the third period.
And we're not just talking about the discipline about your temper. We're talking about the discipline in playing your position, doing the job that you were taught to do, not trying to do everybody else's job, just do your own. Just do it. Just stay with it.
There are the goaltenders, Tretiak and Pajot from the face-off now. The Soviets move in. After it there is Kazatanov, gets it behind the net. Kazatanov has their second goal, the Soviet second goal. He's got it behind the net, now rolls it out in front. They take a whack at it, but here comes Canada. 2-on-2 out of the zone. Heinmarch carrying. Heinmarch with Primo over the line. Heinmarch going in, takes a shot. It goes off Fieldhouse. Heinmarch into the corner now. Trying to get in there for Canada. Unable to get his stick on it is Devaney. And again, Canada getting it at center ice. And Heinmarch had to pick up his glove. And just took a whack at it. Canada's coming back in over the line. Now Devaney's shot is right on. It's kicked away by Tretiak. Into the corner it goes. Devaney trying to fit it in. Heinmarch is there, but the puck is cleared out to center ice. Racing down the left, the right boards rather than Mihailov. But he stopped on the play. And again, Canada's over the line. The pass went right by Devaney. At center ice, Harlamov goes down. Petrov over the line. He drifts one over top of the net. And the puck is at the side of the net. Golfed off the boards by Spring. Devaney along the boards, along with Kazatanov. It comes out to center ice. Harlamov feeding it back to Fedosov. Ahead for Petrov. Petrov gives to Mihailov. Mihailov into the slot. Here comes Harlamov on the back end. Trying to get set. He goes in deep. Around the net. He goes out in front. It gets caught up in a bunch of players. And Canada tries to bring it out. At the blue line, McLean. Now out at center ice. Devaney racing after it. Devaney at center ice, banging it off the boards. Canada will go for the change now. As Fedosov Golikov takes it behind his own net. Berry in for checking, shows McLean. Number 17 is off McLean's stick. On the boards on the side, Alexander Golikov. At center ice, Maxwell goes down. Golikov ahead. Over the line down, Golikov, the shot is stripped wide of the net by Mihailov. Rolls out in front of the net, Pajot batting away. Now here comes Kazanov, the shot right in front of the net. They shoot again. Did it go in? Yes, it did. That came right out, and the Soviets have tied this game up at 3.
The melee in front of Paul Pajot. He didn't get a good look at that puck, and the puck seemed to go in and out all in one motion, but there was no question. The red light went on. A lot of pressure by the Soviets. The defenseman again moving down into the attack. Going around the net, Golikov shoveling out in front. The first shot, the puck seems to lay there. Everybody down trying to block it. Kazanov moving in. There's the shot. Golikov just off the edge after Kazanov had moved right down. And again, we see the Soviet defenseman taking the chances, moving in that deep, getting that puck off the edge. The puck going in and out all in one motion.
We'll get the official scoring in a moment. Golikov will get the goal. Kazanov will get the assist. It's in front of the net again. A shot in. It scores! And 2 quick goals for the Soviets, and they are ahead in this hockey game. And the Soviets empty the bench. And Canada in shock right now. They've had 2 quick ones scored on them. And seen their 1-goal lead disappear.
Well, this is what the Soviets do. Once they get you on the run, the shot comes quickly with Golikov in the slot. Once they get you on the run, they keep putting the pressure. Makarov breaking down outside, shoveling that puck right out into the slot. The quick shot from the slot. Back checkers trying to come back, but in and out all in one motion again.
So Alexander Golikov is hit twice here. And it's 4-3, and Canada will have to go on the attack once again. Into the corner it goes. Starikov along the boards for the Soviets. Balderas out at center ice. Over the line comes Skvortsov. His shot, and it's kicked away by Pajot on the far boards now. Balderas out in front of the net. And the Soviets take a shot that's wide of the net. On the boards on this side, taken by Vasiliev. Around the boards on the far side. Grant trying to get it ahead for Anderson. Outside in front, there's a quick shot that's over top of the net. The Soviets trying to control things now inside the zone. And Grant gets it away. Anderson coming out to center ice now. Anderson with Nil. Anderson to the line. Lines up the shot. Dribbles wide as it came off the leg of Vasiliev. Now he in deep in the zone. Cleared up by Starikov to Skvortsov. Over the line now. Comes Slipkov. He drops it off to Skvortsov, and it's poked up to center ice by Gregg. Now here's the chance for Canada. Right over the line. The shot. They score. Now they stole the puck in the zone, and Canada is tied it up again.
Give Team Canada marks. You've got to give marks for coming back. 2 goals so quick like that in succession would take a lot out of a hockey team. But Delby's just stealing the puck off the Soviet defender. Here he is making the move. He goes down with it, walks right in, puts the puck over the glove hand of Kretschak, and Canada back in the game again at 4-all.
Delby's unassisted. That goal came at the 3:05 mark, just a minute after the Soviets had scored themselves. And we've got a 4-4 tie, and again, this place is a madhouse. Canada now on the attack once again. In goes Delby's after. Delby's trying to get it out front. Peary's right there now. Peary's got it. Delby's out in front. It goes through everybody. There's the shot. It rolls right in front. It's loose there. And the Soviets bring it out. At center ice, carrying the puck is Krukov. Krukov, rink-wide pass, digging in as Billy lets it off. After him is in the corner is Anderson. Get it out in front. They bang away at it. It's loose there, and down goes Pajot. It's still loose, but it was covered up enough for a referee to call it. And the face-off will be deep in Team Canada territory.
Well, you have to try and slow it down a little bit now, though. You can't get in a shoot war when you're going end-to-end and end-to-end. Dan Delby's was tied it up going to the bench. A very happy Canadian bench at this point after those quick 2 goals by the Soviets. But you can't get in an up-and-down race. Just slow it down now. Wait for your opportunities. Keep that discipline that we had earlier in the hockey game.
By the way, those 2 goals were separated by 12 seconds. As coming out of the zone now, it's cleared out to center ice. And trying to break over the line was Primo. He stopped. Puck comes back to the Canadian defense. Spring along the boards for Devaney. Devaney. Primo. Devaney again. Devaney turning with it. Devaney coming over the line now. Devaney getting set. Rolls it over to the far side now. Primo couldn't reach it. And is in the corner. After it is Primo doing a good job. He kicks it out in front of the net. And it's cleared back into the corner. And turning for the Soviet, Petrov. Petrov goes against the boards. It's kept inside the zone. Cleared into the corner. Primo after it behind the net along with Karabukin in the corner for the Soviets. It's cleared around the boards up to center ice, and Spring standing right up there over now, starting out from his own end is Harlamov. Valery Harlamov to the line now. Harlamov dropping that puck. Gets the return pass. Watch Mihailov under 20, trying to roll it through the traffic there, and it was intercepted, and Heinmarch comes away with it. Heinmarch out to center ice. And the Soviets take over once again. Backing up is Sterakov. Fieldhouse to the line. Is shot, and it went off the stick. Pajot into the corner. Seemed to handcuff him momentarily. Now, behind the net, Canada, Maxwell. Maxwell into the corner on the far side. They start away. It's cleared to the blue line, not out. The Soviets chasing it down. Petrov against the boards. Petrov out in front of the net, and it's taken away, and McLean has it for Canada. 3-on-2. Here we come. McLean over the line. The drop pass. This target right in front of it is loose there. And bringing it as a loose shot. Oh, Canada executed that very well. Just couldn't finish it off. Now on the boards. O'Malley. O'Malley outside the blue line. O'Malley's over the line. Offside. Barry was trapped inside. It's called on that offside for a face-off.
Kenny Barry just moving in late on the first two shots. Paul McLean making a good little move after he jumped the puck to Maxwell. McLean drops to Maxwell. It's put through. McLean trying to get that puck by to the open net. Kenny Barry coming in late, trying to get his stick on the backhand to shovel it by Trechak. But a good stop and a good execution of a 3-on-2 break by Canada.
Face-off outside the blue line now.
Come on now.
An unassisted goal by Golikov. Then Golikov from Makarov. 2 goals in 12 seconds. And the Soviets quickly had the lead. But Canada has come back on a goal by Dan Dalvis. Unassisted at 3:05. In the corner now. Trying to skate away from the checking is Makarov. It's out at center ice. Golikov. Vladimir Golikov over the line now. Alexander Golikov trying to get in front of the net. He slides it in front. And it's golfed down the ice by the Canadians' defense. Right on the Soviet goal. And Trechak will have to leave it for Sterakov. Sterakov on the far board. Clears it out to center ice. Grant's got it. Grant skating back inside his own zone. Grant ahead now for Anderson. Anderson over the line. Anderson trying to work around the defense. It's taken away from him by Golikov and cleared back out to center ice. Now ahead, Anderson got it caught up in a skate. It's still tipped over the line and offside on that play. Again, a face-off outside the Soviet blue line with 5 minutes and 57 seconds gone in the period. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. Right off the face-off, the puck is cleared down the ice into Team Canada territory. Randy Gregg lugging it out of his own end. Now ahead, off a skate down into the Soviet end. Kazanov then clears it right back out again. At center ice, Canada, Anderson clearing it past Kazanov. Down inside Soviet territory. It's fed off the boards by Fedosov. Out to center ice. Here's Big Slutov over the line. He drops the puck. Tries to get set in front of the net. Out, they stop it up. Balderas out to Kazanov. Over to the far side. Now the pass went behind Fedosov. Golfed in there. It's loose in front of the net. They whack away at it, and Canada clears it to the line. Fedosov, a pile up in front of the net. Fedosov gets a man beat, then shoots it. That goes off a shoulder and up over the glass, and it's called for a face-off to the right of the Canada goal.
Well, again, Canada getting a little mixed up in their own zone. Balderas had an excellent opportunity around the net. We see him going out. But Greg Peary came all the way from the far point, and as we said earlier in the show, he's a defenseman, and he moves all the way from the left point position, moved all the way to the far side. Here we see the Soviets all around the net. When the puck goes back to the point, here it comes. Brad Peary sells out. They hold on to it. Stepancic went down. They pulled it by him, but Peary came across in the front of the puck over the glass and out of play.
6:54 gone in the period. 4-4 tie here from the face-off. Cleared into the area behind the Canadian net. Terry O'Malley has got it. O'Malley, the veteran, behind the net, loses the puck as he's checked off it. And swinging away into the corner is Makarov. Makarov, he goes down on the play. Puck is loose. And coming away with it for Canada is Joe Grant. Out at center ice, coming across ice. And picking it up is Billy Letinoff. Now at the blue line, Heinmarch for Devaney. He's over the line. Devaney getting some help in that corner by Primo. Primo digging in after it. Trying to get it, but finally the Soviets who come away with the puck. Lebedev clearing it up to center ice. O'Malley standing right in there. Takes a check from Krugov. But it's still along the boards. O'Malley moving up. He flips it into the Soviet zone. Billy Letinoff will chase it down in the corner as Canada makes a complete change. Out there now is Barry, number 19 for Canada. He makes the check against the boards. It's cleared back out to center ice again. Billy Letinoff dropping it back. Verbukin clearing it in. It's into the corner. After it for Canada. Warren Anderson. Barry out at center ice. The puck is poked away from Kevin Maxwell. And it's Mihailov ahead for Harlamov. Went right by him. Down over the line comes Craig. Craig is checked. Puck is loose inside the zone. Harlamov, number 17 for the Soviets. Out at center ice. Mihailov trying to cut through some traffic. He was unable to. Here comes Canada right back again. Maxwell over the line. They shot.
has lost the stick. It's behind the net. He can't play it, and that's why it's a tough thing to have. You have to have the face-off at this time, or yell for the face-off. You see him making that great skate save, coming back again, and he has no stick to try and stop that puck. Tries to get his skate and jam that pad in. There's the goal scorer, the captain, Mikhailov, Soviet captain, putting the Soviets ahead 5-4.
Now over the line come the Soviets again. Picking it up on the far boards. Alexander Golikov. He gets it around behind the net. Spring's got it. Spring in the corner. Being ridden along the boards. Cleared out to the blue line. Golikov. Fedosov. He caught it outside the line and brought it in with players trapped inside. So again, we've got an offside call with 11:05 left in the hockey game. Soviets leading Canada 5-4. Shots on goal in this period, 6-3 favor the Soviets. There you see the two coaches, Blair Drake on your right, Viktor Tikhonov on your left. The official scoring, Mikhailov from Starikov on that last goal at 8:41. Canada needs a tie in this game if they want to stay in the running here. Puck is inside the blue line. Davidson clearing it out to center ice, but the Soviets bring it right back in again, trying to get loose. And finally, out of center ice, Fedosov has got it for the Soviets. Back at his own blue line, clears it across ice for Kazanov, and Canada turns away with it. Glenn Anderson. Anderson flipping it down over the line, and again, it's Kazanov, who's been a major factor in this hockey game. Back to get it now, and touching it deep in his own zone. As Spring, he falls. It's called, and the icing of the faceoff will be back in the Soviet end. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. And from the face-off, Terry O'Malley's got it in his own zone. He gave it away. Here's the shot. Great save by Pajot as he came out to cut off the angle. The Soviets have it in the corner now. The Soviets trying to stick handle, circling around there is Svortsov. Svortsov in against the boards, trying to clear in front. He does. Shluktov's shot. And that one drifted over top of the net. Now in against the boards. Fury kicking it along behind the net for O'Malley. O'Malley being checked in the corner, manages to fight his way through, puts it along the boards. Surpancic out at center ice, and turning with it, coming right back in again is Shlukov. Balderas on this side, and it's offside, and the call for the face-off outside the blue line with 9:51 remaining. And there's Terry O'Malley. This is his third Olympic team. He played in two of them, 64 and 68. And of course, Canada has not had an Olympic year since then. They missed the 72 and 76 Olympics. And now are back and putting on a gallant fight here against the Soviet Union. Now from the face-off. Moving up at center ice, Greg unable to get loose. Makarov's back over the line. Makarov tries to make a fake. Still keeps it inside the blue line. Skating very well as he shoots it into the corner. Digging in there is Krutov. Krutov behind the net. And Canada takes over once again as Heinmark flips it off the glass. It deflects out to the blue line. Vasiliev shooting it in. And Pajot just got down to save that one. It bounced in front of him, and I don't think he saw it until the last instant. And we'll have a face-off in Team Canada territory. There's Paul Pajot.
Viktor Tikhonov, not as excited as right. Here's the shot coming through. It goes through a lot of traffic. No one seems to see it. It changes a little direction. Paul Pajot trying to get it with his glove. The puck stuck underneath his pads. Doesn't really know where it is, but holds it before it goes over the line.
On the face-off, Warren Anderson in the corner, number 2 for Canada. Along the boards, trying to work it out. And it comes to Vasiliev. He stick-handled it along the line, and then his shot was blocked by Randy Gregg, and he lugs it out to center ice. Gregg feeding it along now, and that's intercepted. Here comes Makarov right back again. Players go down to center ice. Makarov shot is right on. The rebound is loose in front, and the defense covered up very neatly on that play. Trying to carry it away there is Stefani. It's out in front, and Canada trying to work it out to center ice, and finally it's Primo who shoots it out there. Canada changing on the fly. The puck is over the line. It's Krutov. Krutov goes down. Bodies are flying all over the place. Vasiliev at center ice. Trying to clear it to the line. Players trapped inside the blue line, so no move by the Soviets to go on the attack. Now Anderson goes in against the boards. Players piling in there, and it'll be called again for a face-off at center ice with 8:40 left in the hockey game.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Team Canada again. You see a tired bench. Kevin Primo going off, and Kevin Primo just gives it everything he has all the time. Makarov controlling that puck. Here we have the shot. Paul Pajot making the stop up on his blocker. And then Team Canada coming back to clear their rebound. The young Makarov always dangerous.
Face-off now, skating along his blue line is Waters. He beats it down into the Soviet end. And Tretiak will leave it there for the defense to Sanonov. Over to the far side, Harlamov. That center ice did a good job stick handling around. Maxwell is over the line trying to fight his way through it. Unable to. Spring takes over. Playing the man on that completely was Waters. Number 5 for Canada. It's banged off the boards. Here's a race into the corner. Berry along with Petrov. Berry going in hard against the boards. He goes down, covering up on the play is Fidisov. Fidisov, rink wide. It's center ice Mihailov. Mihailov to the line. They crisscross. Mihailov, Malamov cutting in front of the net. Mihailov behind the net. Still has that puck. Gets it out the blue line. Fidisov's shot is kicked into the ground by goaltender Paul Pajot, and we'll have another face-off.
One thing that's really important in this hockey game late with 7:59 remaining in the hockey game is conditioning. And Team Canada just breaking in. Kenny Berry hustling there. Would have been an icing call against first of the puck. That again is an example of Team Canada's hustle here. There's Ken Berry on the bench. A little bit of cut there under his mouth. But Kenny Berry, a very fast skater. Team Canada skating with the Soviets step for step here in the late stages of the third period.
Face off to the right of the Team Canada goal. On the face-off, Canada does not win it. There's a shot. It's blocked by the defense. Canada trying to fight its way out. Now unable to. Now it's cleared out to the blue line. The shot comes in. Goes to the side of the net. Digging in after it there is Makarov. The whistle goes. And it'll be called for a face-off. Don't forget, tonight, along with, of course, the highlights of this exciting game and the Czechoslovakia-Sweden game earlier today, you'll see highlights of speed skating, cross-country, women's giant slalom, the first run this morning. All of this tonight following the national news on CTV, your Olympic network. On the face-off, cleared in. O'Malley goes deep into his corner after it. O'Malley behind the net, trying to drop it off. Fumbled it a bit, now he's got it again. O'Malley into the corner, band on it again. Now fighting off a check. That's Golikov, Alexander Golikov. Now cleared by Anderson. Off the boards. Can't get it out as it rolls back to the side of the net. And O'Malley putting it into the corner. Nil. And it's pinned against the boards by Golikov. It's Vladimir Golikov. And it is to be called for face-off to the left of the Canada goal. The Golikov brothers, rookies to Olympic play. I think they made their mark last year during the Challenge Cup Series against the National Hockey League. They're from Penza in the Soviet Union, in the Moscow area. Taught how to play hockey by their father, as a matter of fact, before coming, of course, to the World Junior Championships and to the national team. From the face-off, cleared up off the boards now, went right past the defenseman at the point. That's Starikov racing in after it for Canada's Dalbeast. But Starikov recovers. Leads to Vasiliev. Vasiliev can't get it out of the zone. Randy Gregson deep. There's a shot. It's loose at puck. They shoot. Loose puck. Bouncing around. Still loose. Canada reaching, but they can't seem to control it. Peary getting in and slamming it in against the boards. Peary now behind the net. Zupancic back to Peary. Peary in the corner. Vasiliev running all over him. Puck is in the corner. Now Shlukov goes after it. Schwartzov in against the boards. Peary digging away at it. So is Dalbeast. It's called for a face-off to the right of the Soviet goal.
What a glorious opportunity Brad Peary had. He has a goal for Team Canada, but that puck was just bouncing. Couldn't quite find the handle. You see the original shot coming. Team Canada doing a good job of forechecking. Dalbeast off the edge. They control it off the edge of the net. Here's Brad Peary. The puck was bouncing, trying to get a stick on it. Goes a little by the net. Dalbeast reaching back for it, trying to get it, but you see Trechak out of the net. Oh, what a difference that few feet makes.
6:45 as you see on the clock. Puck is against the boards. Devaney is in there. So is Hindmarch. They poke away at it. Devaney out in front of the net now. And he tried to get a shot away, but it was taken away and bringing it in Sergei Makarov in center ice. Makarov down the right boards now. Clearing it rink wide. On the far side, Fedosov takes a shot. It's deflected into the board area behind the net. And Canada comes away with it now. Starting out at center ice. Taken by Waters. Waters to Spring. To Primo. Primo over the line now. Hindmarch. Trying to sweep around the defense and roll it in front, and it went by everybody. And the Soviets turn, and Makarov coming out of his own zone on the right boards for Lebedev. Lebedev down over the line, and it's intercepted by Spring. Lebedev goes down, and Canada will come away with it again. Don Spring ahead for Primo, at least for Devaney at center ice. Mihailov shooting it back in, and Canada will come right back out with it. Waters for McLean. McLean hooked it away from a player, but the Soviets get it again as Lebedev goes to the far boards. He's checked. Now McLean moves in. Canada changing on the fly, and a two-line pass, I believe. It'll be whistled down for a face-off in the center ice area. Look at the Team Canada bench. Jim Nill you saw there. Well, a tired Team Canada. They have worked very, very hard, and conditioning will be the story. And what I've seen in this tournament, Canada this period, by the way, 14-4 in favor of the Soviets so far. So it's a reversal of form from the second period. Randy Gregg, the captain. A few words there for the referee, Jim Nagels of the United States. Here's Nagels. Gregg over at the bench, trying to get things organized. The face-off will be in the center ice area. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network. Well, Canada got caught with too many men on the ice on that last play over near the Canada bench. It happens so often when the puck comes into a crowd as players are trying to get on and off the ice. And so Canada is now short-handed Mikhailov inside his own zone. Mikhailov out to center ice for the Soviet Union, clearing it rink wide. On this side after it, and gulping it off the glass and out to center ice was Joe Grant, number 7 for Canada. Back forward is Pervukin. Pervukin at center ice for Billy Letinoff. Billy Letinoff threw the puck away to Gregg. Gregg against the boards. He's partially fanned on it. Was checked by Mikhailov. And it was Gregg who got it down into the Soviet zone. Pervukin again. Pervukin, he's number 5. Plays with Moscow Dynamo. At center ice, Pervukin over the line. Shoots it in. Behind the net, left there by Pajot. Off around the boards by Joe Grant, and out to center ice once again with 57 seconds remaining in the penalty. Now Harlamov. Oh, look at that collision as Lenny Anderson just laid out Harlamov. And Harlamov is heading off the ice, and I think he's hurt on that one. Here over the line comes Ken Berry, but he was stopped on the play. Players go down. Mikhailov still out there now. Over the line comes Golikov. In against the boards on the far side, Alexander Golikov out to the blue line, still kept in. Alexander Golikov again. Makarov comes off the bench. Golikov circling into the corner, still with that puck. Golikov flipping it to Makarov. Makarov against the boards, out to the blue line. Really left it off to Makarov. Makarov working it into out in front and fanning on a good chance there in front of the net was Golikov. Out to the far blue line, Pervukin keeping it in again. Trying to work it in front. Here's a chance. The shot is blocked by Brad. Into the corner it goes. Golikov to his brother, out to the blue line now. Skating along the line is Pervukin. He shoots it into the corner. Makarov taking a shot that deflects off his stick, and the penalty has expired. A far towards South Canada with McLean coming to center ice. Now at center ice working it along the boards. To the line, Devaney. Devaney unable to control it. Canada changing again on the fly. And down the line comes Waters. Waters can't break through the defense, and the Soviets come away with it once again. Golikov circling inside his own blue line. Golikov working up the left side now. Trying to work around the defense. Waters on in there. He goes around the board. Rolls it in front of it. They score. It went off a leg and inadvertently goes into the net. So with 3:09 remaining, the Soviets have moved into a 6-4 lead. And I don't know whose leg that went off, but Golikov came around behind the net. Here it is. Perhaps we can see it there.
Well, Golikov are moving around the net, put the puck into the net. Canada has requested a stick measure at this point, but they're not going to give it to them. I don't understand this. He's trying to change the stick. We're seeing the goal. Golikov coming around the net, but Canada wants a stick measure on Golikov, and the referee won't give it to him. The referee won't give him the measure, and Golikov has gone to the bench and is trying to change his stick.
There's Golikov on the bench. And now Randy Gregg is arguing, and they are handing sticks back and forth over there. Golikov unassisted. At 16:51, 6-4, the Soviets are leading.
I don't believe this. The referee won't give the measure. The Soviet player Golikov went right down the bench. The trainer took the stick from him, changed it for a stick on the edge. Golikov has played with an illegal stick. We saw it before the game. We said if we were down a goal late in the game, we were going to question Golikov's stick. He scores the goal. We question the stick. The man is changing the stick right now on the bench, and they won't give us a stick measurement.
Alexander Golikov has a hat trick in this period. He's been the man. From the face-off now. Down inside the zone. Canada's going to have to open up the stops here now. As over on the far side. Taken by Waters. Waters in center ice. Leads it over the line. Maxwell trying to work in front of the net. It bounces up to center ice once again. And Sportsov down over the line. He comes. Sportsov trying to get in front of the net. Rolls it in front shortstop. It's dropped off to Balderas. Canada beats him to the puck, and McLean at center ice. McLean over the line along with Maxwell. McLean stopped up through it into the slot. And panning on it was Ken Berry there. And the puck is back out at center ice. Down to the line for the Soviets now. Long shot by Schwartzov playing without a helmet. And the Canadians come away with it once again. Here's Berry at center ice. The helmet is inside the Team Canada net, as a matter of fact. As Berry goes into the corner. Out in front. And it went right by Reinhardt. He goes off the board. Stepped in at the blue line. Fed into the corner. There it's taken by Giovanni. Out in front. And everybody better. Here's a shot. It was batted out in the air there by Blake. Who gets deep. We've got 1:54 left in this hockey game. As the puck is cleared all the way down the ice. Pashio's out of his net. He shovels it off into the corner. And Canada will try once again. Giovanni kicking it behind the net. Is lost there to Makarov. Makarov heading out front of the net. And he shot it over top of the net. Now against the boards. Cleared along the boards to Greg. Greg off the boards at center ice. Primo unable to get to it. Cleared into the corner again. Peterson at least in the corner. It's taken by Anderson. Behind the net. Cleared to the far side. Heinmarch out at center ice. The Soviets take over. Makarov against the boards. Player trapped inside the blue line there after he threw a check. Primo. And with 1:19 left, we'll have a face-off outside the blue line of the Soviet Union.
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand this. The coaching staff of Team Canada, we watched the warm-up. Here we see the check in front of the net, the helmet flying off Makarov and in the net. For the coaching staff, we knew that Alexander Golikov, his stick was illegal. We saw it before. We realized that if we were down a goal with less than 4 minutes to go, we're going to question the stick. He scores the goal. We want to get a question of the stick. The official won't allow a measurement of the stick. If we're wrong, there's a minor penalty to Canada, but if we're right, the goal is thrown out, and we get the man advantage. But he won't measure it.
From the face-off, there's Harlamov taking a shot wide of the net. It goes out to the blue line now. Verbuchen keeping it in behind the net. Mihailov out in front. Harlamov rolled it through the goal crease area. Taking over on the far side for Canada. It's Waters. Here comes the goaltender now. We're going to pull the net. The goaltender is out as the puck bounces into the corner. After it in there now, it's cleared in. Dalvis in there. Canada trying to control it. Behind the net now for Canada. Dalvis trying to get it out in front. It's behind the net. Rolls out in front. There's the shot. Just missed the net. It's loose in front. Now against the boards. After it is Maxwell. Canada will storm the net now with 40 seconds left. Behind the net. After that puck is Mihailov. It's cleared along the boards. Maxwell keeping it in. Maxwell against the boards. They poke away at it. In there is Petrov as well. Zubancic now behind the net. Taken by Dalvis. Dalvis out in front. The shot is blocked. It's loose in front and down goes Prechak. Is still loose. Behind the net. Player's ball. Cutting through the traffic is Waters. 17 seconds left. They pin it in against the boards, and it's held for a face-off with 14 seconds left in the period.
Well, one thing in the hockey game, Team Canada down 6-4, the goaltender out because the tie is needed unless Holland could take 1 point from Finland in the last game today. Team Canada has a team that I think all Canadians have to be proud of because right here with the score of 6-4, no one's given up. Everybody's storming the net. They're giving it everything they've got to try and get in this middle round.
Just a great effort by Team Canada here. They had the lead 3-1. Then they lost it very quickly in the third period, then regained the tie. But then the Soviets have come back on goals by Mihailov and Alexander Golikov, his third of the game. And that's the 2-goal Bulls right now. With 14 seconds left, everyone playing up over the blue line. It's from the face-off. Canada wins. Fanning on it there. The puck is loose. The Soviets trying to get out. Here's a long clearing pass. Steered down wide of the net off the stick of Makarov. Cleared wide. Icing will be the call with 4 seconds left. And the face-off will be down just inside the blue line of the Soviets.
Not an icing call, an offside. A 2-line pass comes back to where the pass was shot from, just inside the Soviet blue line.
4 seconds left. They'll play every man up over that line again. As Claire Drake watches, and Canada is getting a standing ovation. This is great. Canada is getting a standing ovation for their effort against the Soviet Union. Don't forget, this is much the same team that shut out the National Hockey League All-Stars last year. The hockey game is over. And Canada is getting the standing ovation.
Well, as we just finished saying, there's a standing ovation. Everybody here, the fans just giving them, there's a Soviet fans, but it was a great hockey game. Canada gave it everything they had. Just couldn't quite stay with them in the late stages of the hockey game, but nevertheless an effort that all Canadians can be proud of.
There's the handshake. They played a pretty tough one, Team Canada did. A tough one to lose, rather. But it was a gallant effort, and I don't think anybody could have predicted that Canada would put in the effort that they did here this afternoon. Just tremendous, just another one of a series of great confrontations between a Canadian hockey team and a team from the Soviet Union. The shots on goal final, Soviet 35, Canada 26. Final score, 6-4 Soviets.
Tom, I just went down and I asked Nagels, why did you refuse the measurement? He said by the time I could catch him, he was already off the ice and on the bench, and that's why I couldn't give him the measurement.
Well, there's Johnny Esau doing a little homework for us. 6-4 the Soviets. Canada gets the standing ovation. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network.
A gallant effort by Team Canada, and I'm sure all Canadians coast to coast are very proud of our Canadian Olympic team. They certainly gave it all they had against a very tough and physical Soviet team. The winning goal was scored by Mikhailov in the third period from Starikov at 8:41 as Paul Pajot had lost his goal stick, and the puck comes to the side, just bounces off Pajot's right pad into the net, and that gave the Soviets a 5-4 lead. Canada did lead 3-2 going into that period, but the Soviets with two quick goals 12 seconds apart, with Alexander Golikov getting his first two of the three-goal hat trick. So the Soviets win it 6-4 over Team Canada. This is CTV, Canada's Olympic Network.